Okay, we have 14 of you. Kelas kita ada berapa orang ya? 20. 23.
20 doktor.
Ampun, ada lagi 3 orang yang part time tu.
Oh jadi doktor dia join?
Tak tahu lah, saya pun tak tahu. So, sepatutnya dia dalam part time student, dia tak boleh register dalam kelas saya.
Itulah.
Sebab saya kena, bila nak masuk markah nanti saya ada masalah. Nanti takut tercecil nama kan.
Itulah kalau jadi 23 lah student.
Dah download semua articles? Semua articles sebab semua materials. Quantitative, dah install dah SPSS?
Dah doktor.
Dah doktor.
Doktor nak request record Hidayah Gani.
Okay, done.
Thank you.
Okay, ada 14 orang so far. 13 participant. Satu dah keluar ni, saya apa yang keluar. Yeah.
I have SPSS 25. Will there be any difference in 23 and 25?
What is it?
I have SPSS 25 installed already on my laptop.
25?
Will there be any difference in 23 and 25?
Oh, no problem. So even there's a little bit different. Even the 26, there's a different. Okay, but then the functions that you're using to use is not affected that much. It will not be affected because it's more on data analysis. Because, for example, in 26, you can import data from internet, you can import data certain things and so forth. That's some of the new features for the found. So if you use 25, it's okay. 23, it's okay. 26 is also okay. But I also uploaded the 26. Okay, the same thing from I put the license, right? It's the correct, the LSERVC, that's license service. So you can copy from the license service, from that particular folder, and then copy the particular file, and then paste it to the location where you install the directory where you install the software. They will work. Okay, yang baru join in siapa ya? Yang baru masuk?
Hidayah Ismail.
Siapa?
Hidayah Ismail.
Hidayah Ismail. You grup berapa Hidayah?
Grup 4.
Grup 4. Dan lagi? Sekarang ni saya ada 14 orang. Ada 3 orang lagi. Siapa yang dah baru masuk ni tadi?
Saya Dr. Hasmizal.
Hasmizal grup apa? Grup 3.
Ya.
Okey, lagi? Ada lagi 2.
Leslie doktor.
Leslie dan lagi? Okey, Nusaibah ya?
Razwani doktor.
Okey, nanti I call Nusaibah, Armizi, Nurul Nada, Muhammad Syarif ada? No. Syahiran, Siti Rahimah, Nur Syazwani.
Syahiran ada.
Syahiran ada ya?
Razwani ada doktor.
Okey, Nurul Hanis ada kan? Leslie, Afifi.
Ada doktor.
Amizal, Aizat, Nur Ain,
Ada.
Nur Hidayah Gani, Nur Atika.
Ada.
Ya doktor.
Syafiqah, Nur Hidayah Ismail ada. Muhammad Abdul Rauf. Tak ada. Ahmed Tanjir ada? Tanjir.
Yes, bro.
Okay, Tanjir. Tanjir is here. Maria Mahidah ada. Amir Afrif ada. Said Mahazi ada. Wan Muhammad Faisal ada? Tak ada. Baik. Okay, ada 16. Okay. So, ada 17 ni terlebih seorang ni. Siapa yang terlebih seorang? I got extra one. You call out your name one by one.
Doktor, saya Nur Aini.
Nur Aini Draman.
Betul.
Ada. Ini saya ada extra ni seorang ni.
Doctor, 4772 include you actually.
Yes, I know. That's right. But my attendance, I have 17. That means it should be 16. Siapa ya? Let me call back. Nur Saibah, you're around, isn't it?
Yes, Prof.
Okay. Armizi, you're around, right?
Yes, yes.
Nada, around?
Yes.
Muhammad Sharif? Tak ada, kosong. Okay. Syahiran, you around? Siti Rahima? Tak ada. Haven't seen her. Okay.
Prof, Siti Rahima tengah nak masuk.
Tengah nak masuk. Okay.
Ah.
Nah, sekarang kosonglah dulu. Syazwani, you ada. Hanis ada. Leslie ada. Afifi ada.
Yes, doktor, ya.
Hamizal ada. Aizat ada. Aizat ada? Atau Aizat dah keluar?
Aizat still ada,
Ada,
cuba.
ada doktor. Aizat ada.
Ada. Okay, Aizat ada. Aini Rahman ada?
Ada, Doktor.
Hidayah Gani ada?
Ada doktor.
Nur Atikah ada? Nur
Ada,
Atikah
Doktor.
Amiruddin.
Saya, Doktor.
Syafiqah tak ada kan lagi kan?
Syafiqah belum.
Okey. Hidayah Ismail ada kan? Ada?
Hidayah Ismail ada.
Ya, ada.
Okay. Ada. Abdul Rauf? I don't think Abdul Rauf ada. Oh, no, Abdul Rauf tak ada. Okay, then I'm correct lah. Oh, now 18. 18 siapa baru masuk ni? Siapa baru join ya?
Siti Rahima.
Ha?
Siti Rahima.
Siti Rahima baru join. Okay. Okay, so today we're going to cover on the quantitative, right? On the quantitative, you all of you have submitted the assignment kan? Yang lambat-lambat dah itu. Armizi dah hantar, Leslie dah hantar kan? Ada yang tak hantar lagi ke?
Doktor, yang tu just transkrip sahaja kan?
Yes, transkrip sahaja.
Yang Envivo tu saya belum siapkan.
Tak,
Saya
Envivo
tak
tu
pasti.
Envivo by end of this month.
Okey, doktor.
Tapi you kena buat around by this week you kena buat dah.
Semalam saya yesterday I try tapi halfway baru.
Because your license, if you use trial version license by this week or by next week, done, finish. Okay, that's why your analysis after you have analyzed, then whatever that you have done in your Envivo software, then you have to share it or export it to Microsoft Word. Okay?
Doktor, last week I dah request dekat UiTM yang Envivo tu tapi still tak dapat email lagi from them.
Tak apalah, nanti kena kerja cepatlah kata you ada assignment nak kena buat.
Okay, doktor.
Okay.
Doctor, before that, maybe I'm a bit confused on our assignment yang ni. Kita just extract until kita masuk ke dalam Microsoft Word. Doktor kan annotation dan lain-lain tu. Kita buat yang maksudnya
Okay. For your second assignment, okay, get be clear. Okay, for your second assignment, you should get a copy of your group members transcript.
Yes.
Okay. So if group 1, you should have 4 transcript. Because one of your member, there is Takus something, okay, did not register for the subject. He or she is taking the subject next semester. So you only have 4 members in a group. Okay, therefore you should have 4 transcript. A second group, you should have about 5 transcript, each of you. Okay. Based on that transcript, as if you are the one who conducted the interview, as if. Okay, that's why I say you have to use the same questions, and then each of you have to conduct one interview. That is the reason to speed up your work. So the other 3 or the other 4 transcript that you got from your friends, as if you are the one who conducted the interview, based on the same research area, based on the same questions. the generic question, but the 7 generic questions they are supposed to interview, right? So based on that, now you have to you have to use your NVivo software to analyze the document. So in your NVivo project, okay, your new project, you should have, I expect you should have at least 2 folders. Okay, that is interview transcript plus your articles. So you also have articles from your friends, isn't it? Each of
Yes.
you had about, 3 or 4 articles that you have to collect. Okay, you have to do it. Okay, so your friends should share the articles with you. So you have 2 folders. One folder is to store all your interview transcript, and the other one is all your articles. So after that, you have to, whatever that I have taught you, and the annotation, the CO link, the memo link, the purpose is, for example, if you want to what? If you want to write a literature about certain themes or certain variable, okay, that is, you have your introduction, chapter 1, you have your problem statement, you have your objective, you have your research question. That is in chapter 1. Okay. On chapter 2, okay, on the second part of your write-up, okay, in your journal article, you have a literature. You have to write a literature. So that literature will comes out from the articles that you have shared. Okay, so that's why if you have 4 articles, each member have 4 articles. Therefore, if you have 4 group members, you have 20 articles. So you have to read on that and then write a literature about the research area that you have collected. Okay? So if you read one article and reminds you of another article, a passage, then you can apply the CO link. Okay? And then after that, you have to analyze. So once you have make some changes to the document and so on, you have to export it to your Microsoft Word. Microsoft, the reason is that after certain date, you cannot use your NVivo anymore. You cannot see whatever changes that you have made. Whatever article annotations or CO link that you have created, you do not know that. But if you have export it to your Microsoft Word or as a web page, then you can use it without having NVivo. That is the reason why I say you have to do everything within 2 weeks before your expiry date. Okay, the trial version expire. So after you have done that, expert and so on, then you can do your write-up without having NVivo. That is the reason why I said you have to do everything, okay, in your NVivo, then you have to export. Because your write-up, you have your Microsoft Word or you have the web page format of your PDF file. Rather than you want to go back to your NVivo, you don't have your NVivo anymore because it already expired. Understood? Even though you want to do some query, for example, you can use query, text search, okay, to find the keyword in all the articles, and then you match. Is it okay or not? Then you highlight if it can be used for your literature. You highlight the passage or the text, and then drop it to your themes. That is under quotes, under notes. You create the notes. Faham? Understood?
Doctor, our yang extract from NVivo, our Microsoft Word tu, do we need to submit it?
No. Okay. But I want your project. You have to copy your project, and then later on you're going to submit your write-up plus your NVivo project.
Okay.
That is where I'm going to look. So you're going to get marked on that. So there are a lot. I mean, they say whether you use your NVivo or you just make up your write-up. So I will look at your project, your whatever that you have done. Okay, boleh. That will be individual, and you have to email to me personally, not in Google Drive. Okay, boleh. Because if you were to put in Google Drive, then what will happen is that a member of your group who does not do anything or free rider will make use of whatever that you have done. They just copy. Okay, okay, this guy put it. Okay, I will do that, the same thing, because we have the same material. So for your second assignment, you have to email to me individually your write-up and also your MVivo project file. So nobody knows about your work.
So project means the exported files, right? Project mean the exported files from an NVivo, right?
Yeah, you export it from your MVivo, and then you can do your write-up, the journal articles write-up. So the journal articles write-up will be based on whatever that you have export from your NVivo, because you cannot use NVivo anymore. So whatever that you have done, you already export it, and then you can do your write-up. Is it clear?
Okay, Doctor.
Okay, Doctor.
Again, Doctor. Okay. We need to send to Doctor our NVivo, our project that we save. The format is NVivo format lah.
Yes, because once you put this copy as project, that means this will be NVivo project, the NVP.
Okay.
Whatever name. But then you write down the name of the file should be under your name. Okay, you make a backup copy, right? So the backup copy of your project will be under your name. Easy for me to, okay, this is Armiz's NVivo project.
Okay, Doctor. Here, please, one question.
Understood?
Hey, hello, Doctor. Okay, for the write-up, for how many pages, or is there a specific requirement for the write-up?
The write-up is, you have your introduction, you have your literature, you have the methodology, okay, then you have the findings, and you have the conclusion. That is the basic write-up in journal articles, and that is the write-up for your dissertation. Okay, it's the same thing. You have introduction,
Doctor,
and then you have your literature, and you have your methodology, and you have your findings and your conclusion. So my emphasis will be more on methodology. Is not that much methodology you can write, okay? But you look at the research, the articles that you have read, how they conduct it. So in this case, your methodology is just conduct interviews. Okay, so you can say in your write-up, okay, this interviews, okay, conduct only one interview, but the other 4 interviews are conducted by your friend, using the same question and so on. Understood? Because of the constraint of limited time. Okay, you have time constraint. So at least the person who read it knew that you only conduct one interview, but the others are conducted by members of your group. Then it is clear. Why? Because of you have a time constraint. Because this is a simple project. This is a very simple project. Unless you want to do a proper research, yes, it may be 5 months or 6 months or 7 months to do it. But this is not. Okay, this is a class project. Therefore, the time constraint is there. Doctor, I think you have covered in your research methodology, I guess. Yeah.
Do we need to complete chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for our assignment?
No. You don't put chapter.
I mean until introduction, LR, research method, finding and conclusion and recommendation, is it?
Yes. If you read an article, it's the same thing. That is what they have, isn't it? Okay, so you only have interviews, that's all. You do not have focus group. Okay, you do not have any pictures. Do you take any pictures? No. Okay, you do not have any Facebook. You do not have any video. You don't have audio. Unless you want to put into your project your audio file that you conduct interview from your friend. You can put in only one audio, that is based on the interview that you conducted. Your friends' interviews, you don't have to put in the audio file. So you are going to have 3 folders. One is the interview transcript. If you have a group member of 4, therefore you're going to have 4 interview transcripts in the folder. Then you have your articles. If you have each of group member have 4 articles, each of you take 4 articles. That means if you have 4 members, you should have about 16 articles in a folder. And then you have audio folder. That audio folder would only one audio. That is the audio file that you conducted an interview with your friend. The other members of other members of yours who conducted the interview, you will not put in because it will be too large to export later on. Okay, understood? And then you submit. Okay, you submit by end of the month. Okay. So today we have class. Next week we're not going to have a class. Okay, on the 26th, if I'm not mistaken, we're not going to have a class because I have a meeting, board meeting in the morning. So we don't have a class. And after all, I have morning and evening classes set for the past 2 weeks. So at least we already covered half of it. All the qualitative is supposed to take about 4 weeks, I guess, 4 to 5 weeks. So next week you can have, you can start to do your work, or wherever you start to do your write up and so on. Then by the end of the by Sunday, the following Sunday, you have to submit. Before class, you have to submit your one. Any question?
Doctor, how about the pages and the format?
Not more than 15 pages. Okay, double spacing. No, 1.5 spacing. UiTM use 1.5 spacing. Left margin. Okay, if you were to write APA format, it is you have to write according to APA format. You know what is APA format? If you do not know, you search. Okay, you Google search what is APA format. There are some universities have the APA format. If I'm not mistaken, Purdue University in US have a good APA format. They decide how to write a paper on using APA format. So if APA format, the spacing is double spacing, but UiTM use 1.5. Okay, use 1.5 spacing. The font is Times Roman. Okay, the size is 12. Top margin, bottom margin is 1 inch. Left, top, bottom, right margin is 1 inch. Okay, for your dissertation, left margin will be 1.5. For your articles, I need only 1 margin. Okay, if you want to do your abstract should not be more than 150 words. Okay, if your journal articles, your abstract should not be 150 words. That is the format. Look at how the APA format, because that is what you're going to apply when you write your dissertation. You have to use APA format. Same thing with your referencing.
Doctor, sorry,
yes.
how many pages?
Not more
Minimum?
than 15.
Not more than 15.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
It is between 10 to 15.
Yeah, doctor, that one is exclude reference or include?
Exclude.
Okay.
Okay. So at least you should have 12. Okay. I don't want your literature until 8 pages, and then you're finding only 1 page. Understood? So actually, I'm looking more on your findings and your findings and your literature. Okay. If everybody is clear, then now I have one more student. Siapa ya? Mau masuk? Abdul Rauf.
Doctor, no, I don't want to ask any question.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes, okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So the 3 students tu tak yang I do not know this 3 guy ni. Okay, today have you seen, okay, I'm going to, I already think I share the screen, right?
Yes, Doctor.
Okay, about this
Yes,
one,
doctor.
it is in your PowerPoint, I think. It's in the file too.
Yes, doctor.
Okay. This is about quantitative, okay, how to get most from these terms. There are 6 things that you can advise. Keep your attention on the concept. Okay. It is unlike your qualitative. Okay, qualitative you interpret. Okay, whatever people said, you interpret on your own, even though it is the same material. Remember when I shout something the other day? Okay, one say, okay, the loudness, how the pitch of when I shout, is it 8, 7, 10, and so on. So there's a difference. But for quantitative, there's only one answer. A is A, B is B. That's it. You cannot say A is A plus. You cannot do that. Okay. So in order to understand, okay, in the terms of quantitative, you have to pay attention on the concept. So when you read a section of the chapter, so the textbook that we use is by Andy Field, Discovering Statistics Using IBM SPSS. That is the textbook. Any question? So currently, if I'm not mistaken, it's the 5th edition. It is a good book. It's very thick. Okay, they talk about his cat. Okay, a lot about cats and so on. So it's a very good book. And then we've been using it for the past how many years? So with the new edition and so on. So the latest, I think, is the 5th edition. Okay, keep attention on the concept. When you read a section of a chapter, your attention should be grasping the principle. Okay, working through the activities and questions, think about why you are doing each step. Do not memorize. Okay, do not memorize. Because if you simply memorize how to come up with the right answer, you have learned very little of use in your future study. Okay, even though, for example, we have t-test, so whether it is one sample t-test or independent sample t-test, or we have pet sample t-test. Okay, you have the same questions. Okay, we have the same questions, but the number of respondents is different. The first group is maybe about 80 respondents, whereas the second group, they're using the same research question and so on. Okay, even using the same question, I've increased the number of respondents to 250. So the result will be different. When you use 50 respondents, the result is different. When you use 250 respondents, the result will be different. It is not the same. But if you do not understand the concept, you will not be able to interpret the answer, the result. Okay, the result might be different, but the concept is the same. Whether you use 50 respondents or you use 250 respondents, the concept is still the same, and you apply to the concept when you look at the result. Whether it is 100 respondents, 50 respondents, or 250 respondents, it doesn't matter. The concept is still the same, but the answer might be different because of number of respondents. That's why you have to understand the concept rather than memorizing. Why? You should know why. Understood? So normally I always repeat, okay, this type of test, what is this? What you should know, okay? What are the variables? What are the dependent variables? What are the independent variables? Independent variables, is it continuous or is it categorical? Okay, categorical. How many categories? Because there are difference. If you use 2 categories, this type of test. If you have more than 2 categories, therefore you have to conduct this type of test. And then in terms of dependent variable, is it continuous or is it categorical? If it's continuous, what type of test you can have to conduct? If it is a categorical, what type of test that you have to conduct? So you need to understand that. That is the concept. Then only you can apply what type of statistical test that you need to conduct. So you have to understand based on the concept. Second, understand each concept and the key idea before you go on to the next chapter. Okay, you have to understand. You need to know how. When you are small, you have to memorize the letter A until Z or to Z. Okay, then only you can spell. If you do not memorize the word, if you don't know what is the character, then it is very difficult for you to read and to spell. That is where same thing here. you have to understand each concept or ideas for each chapter before you proceed to the next, because statistics is cumulative. What we have covered last week will be used this week, and what we have covered for the past 2 weeks will be used in the third week. Whatever we have covered from the first 3 weeks, will be used it in the fourth week. That's why statistics is cumulative. So each new concept is built on the last one. Okay, even though within a chapter, if you have read a section and you do not understand it, stop. Reread it. Okay, if you don't understand, stop, and you have to reread again. Again and again, again and again. And finally, ask for help. You still don't understand, ask for help. Do whatever you need to do to grasp it. You have to do something. If you miss a class, okay, if you miss the class, you better catch up. Even though those who attended the classes still do not understand what if, okay, you miss a class. So that's why you have to understand each concept before we move to the others, and then you get stuck, reread, and ask your friends. Okay, having to read the materials in this book over and over again, okay, over and over, does not mean that you are stupid, that you are not clever. Okay, most students have to read each chapter several times. Each reading is much slower than reading an ordinary textbook. This is an academic area, and it has to be poured over with clear, calm attention for it to sink in. Allow plenty of time for this kind of reading and rereading. You take note for granted, okay, I do not understand, I just put aside. No. You read over and over. Then only you understood. Okay. Allah will not send you an angel, Jibril or whatever it is, okay, to give you the wahyu. Okay, this is how to understand. No, no more. Okay, they stop at Prophet Muhammad. There is no angel coming to you to guide you. What you need to do, you have to read. You don't understand, ask your friends. The PowerPoint that I give you is just a guide. Okay, that is very basic. I've already summarized whatever in the textbook. Okay, that is summarized. So to get better understanding, you have to read the textbook. Third, keep up with the work of the class. Again, statistics is cumulative. Okay, I've guided you in the class. Okay, this is how to do t-test, one sample t-test, independent sample t-test, PET t-test. After you finish the class, you try redo again. Okay, you have to redo. So you have to practice what you have discussed in class. Sometimes practice on your own. Okay, if I teach you for 3 hours, maybe you practice on your own, it takes you half an hour. That's it. And you get the same result. And then you try to interpret on your own. And then look at what I've discussed, the base and in the presentation or PowerPoint. Can you explain as what been explained in the PowerPoint? That is the same point. You write down? Okay. These are the key points that I to answer, to interpret the result. That's why you have to keep up with the working class. So before we move to one-way ANOVA, we already understood t-test, because the t-test, okay, one of the statistical tests is t-test. Okay. That is the basic or the foundation of what other tests that you're going to conduct. The easiest test in statistical test is a t-test. One-way ANOVA, two-way ANOVA, getting complicated. Okay, and then you have simple linear regression, you have multiple regression. If your dependent variable is categorical, then you have to use logistic regression and so on. So this is the basic, okay, test. So you need to know. So you have to, once you finish class, okay, maybe a few days later you try again the exercises, and then try to answer it, then try to interpret the result. Okay, study especially intensely in the first half of the course. Okay, basically that you need to study intensely this week, next week, until the 4th week. Okay, until I completed t-test. That one you must grab everything. You have to be very good. If you can cover up until t-test, your one-way ANOVA, two-way ANOVA, simple linear regression, multiple regression will be very easy. But if you are struggling with t-test, when whatever topics that we covered before that, then you are in difficulties. Okay? So that's why study especially intensely in the first half of the course. It is particularly important to master the material thoroughly at the start of the course, since everything else in statistics is built on what you learn at the start. That's why statistics is cumulative. Yet the beginning of the semester is often when students study least seriously. So now we're talking about the quantitative. This is the beginning. Okay, so majority of the students study very little at the early stage. Later on, then they have problems. Okay, if you have mastered the first part of the course, the second half will be easier than the first. It's true. Once you understood the first part, the second part will be much easier. If you have not mastered the first half, the second half will be far more difficult. Understood? Any question?
No, doctor.
No, that means everybody understood. Only one person understood. The rest diam saja. Okay, number 5. It is essential that you undertake questions and activities in this chapter and associated websites to consolidate your learning. Okay. I don't have time to give you many questions. Normally, I don't give any question to do. Sometimes I give you questions to do for your assignment. Okay. So if I give you assignment, only one assignment, I don't give you for a certain chapter, I give you 3 assignments. No. I just give for that particular chapter, if you want to give you assignment, only give you 1 assignment. Because we don't have time. It's very packed. Okay, that's why you have to study more on your own. And lastly, help each other. This is no better way to solidify and deepen your understanding, and then to try to explain it to someone who is having a harder time. When you explain to someone else or you teach someone else, you solidify your understanding. Okay, you're getting better and better. When you help others, Allah will help you. So you can understand better and better. So you should be able to help each other. That's very important. Okay. Of course, this is when you be patient. Okay. Therefore, explaining this, you have to be patient. Okay. You must be very patient and respect. Sometimes your friends take some time to understand. For you, it's very easy. For the other person, it's quite difficult. So take your time until that person can understand. For those who are having a harder time, then there's no better way to work through the difficult parts than by learning from another student who has just learned it and discuss it with them. So for you who have hard time, so discuss with your friends who find it easy. Okay, form study teams with 1, 2, 3 other students. It is best if your teams include some members who expect this material to become easy and some who do not. Okay, that means in a group, you must have someone who know something about statistics or understand. Rather than you form a group, but everybody doesn't know anything, then it's very difficult. Okay, those who learn statistics easily will really get the very most from helping others who have to struggle with it. The latter will tax the former supposed understanding enormously. Okay, and so on. Pick team mates who live near you so that it is easy for you to get together. Meet often, not very easy. You can use Zoom or you can use Google Meet. You can meet online rather than face to face. Okay, so help each other. Excuse me, hold on. Ada incoming call. Okay. Okay. Why learn each method? Okay. Why learn each method and statistics? Okay. Understanding statistics is crucial to being able to understand the result of the investigation of the studies. Carry out simple investigation and surveys, making sense of it for yourself and others so that you can prepare readable reports or summaries. In most of the social and behavioral science, nearly every course you will take emphasizes the result of research studies, and these are usually expressed in statistical terms. If you do not understand the basic logic of statistics, you cannot make sense of the jargon, the tables and the graphs that are the heart of each research report or business report. Your reading, understanding, and your ability to make clear and succinct presentation for others will be impossible. Okay, that's why you need to know about statistics. You know that you look at the table, you look at the graph, and so forth. You'll be able to interpret. And then there are certain jargons. If you do not learn statistics, there are certain jargons that you do not understand. Okay, so involve data, you analyze. It is a little bit different from qualitative. Okay, qualitative is more on interpretation, your personal interpretation, but not on quantitative. Quantitative is not personal interpretation, is a standard interpretation of the result. Okay, this one you can read on your own later. Okay, question in practice in the sub we have to read. Okay, what is the computer of the role of the computer? It is a software package for statistical analysis. Okay, it has become more important than ever before to teach business practitioners and so on. But it does not replace statistical reasoning, the correct selection of statistical tests, careful evaluation of the underlying assumption, cautious interpretations of the printouts of results. It does not replace. This is the one. These are the things that you have to do. Okay, you have to determine what are the statistical tests that you have to conduct. You have to evaluate and analyze the assumptions. You have to fulfill the assumption. If you do not fulfill the assumption, what type of test to conduct? And then you must be cautious in terms of the interpretations of the result. So the role of the computer does not replace the reasoning, statistical reasoning, selection of a type of tests, the assumptions and the interpretation of the result. They just speed up the calculation and give you the result. So basically, that's what you need to know, about what you're going to cover for until the end of this semester. Any questions so far?
Currently, no.
No. Yang lain semua faham? Okay. So basically, what I want you to do is, what I want you to do is, did I stop sharing just now? Yes. No.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, what I want you to do, if you to read Andy Field textbook, Discovering Statistics Using SPSS, by Andy Field.
Andy Field.
A-N-D-Y. In your RAC743 syllabus, you have the name of the book, and then the author, Discovering Statistics Using SPS. The latest version is the 5th version. Okay.
Doctor,
Right.
how about the Julie Pallen book?
Huh?
Julie Pallen.
Julie Pallen is a good book, but it is just a step by step. It's a step by step. They just teach you what to do, how to do it. Okay, you wouldn't get much on Julie Pallen. But if you want to, let's say, how am I going to conduct one-way ANOVA? You can use Julie Pallen because you have your data, and then how to run the test. Okay, Julie Pallen do step by step. But to get the better understanding, you have to have NDFIT. Okay, the textbook that's good. If not, you should use Live-in. Okay, Live-in. What is the name of the book? I can't remember. It's also a good book, a statistical book. It is solving statistics in Excel. Okay, that is another. That is also an example of textbook that is good. We have a lot of examples in that inside there. Julie Pallen, Cooks. Okay, it is a step by step guide. Okay, on performing the tests. In the class, some of it I use Julie Pallen materials. Okay, to teach, but not all. Okay, so for this one, okay, you have to discuss statistics and so on. Okay, you need to know, okay, the basic things. Okay, the basic questions that you need to know. Okay, what is hypothesis? Okay, what is hypothesis? You have null hypothesis, you have alternate hypothesis. What is hypothesis? Okay, it is a prediction. Hypothesis is just a prediction. You need to know what is hypothesis. You have null and alternate. So how to write the null and alternate. So then you have to read, and then you need to know about variable. What are the variables? You have independent variables. You have dependent variables. What is name? What is independent variable? What does it mean? What is dependent variable? What does it mean? Okay. So independent variables. How many types of independent? What types of independent variable? You have categorical. You have continuous. It can be categorical variable or it can be continuous variable. And when we talk about variable, you have independent and independent. And then these variables can be continuous or it can be categorical. So what is continuous? What is categorical? And if it is categorical, it can be, okay, it can be ordinal, it can be binary, okay, or it can be nominal if it is categorical. If it is a continuous variable, it can be discrete, it can be the level of measure discrete, what else? Ratio, or it can be interval. So what is the difference between ratio and interval? You need to know that. Understood? I'm not, because this one you have studied in at lower level. When you studied statistics at diploma level and so on. It is covered inside there. So those are basic. I'm not going to cover in my class because it's we don't have enough time. Okay. So variables, you have dependent, independent. What is meant by dependent? What is meant by independent? And variables also have the level of measurement for these variables can be categorical and continuous. The level of measurement, categorical and continuous. If categorical, what types of categorical variable? We have 1, 2, 3. Okay, nominal, ordinal, and ordinal. If continuous, you might have ratio, interval. So what is meant by ratio? What is the difference between ratio and what is the difference between interval? So you need to understand that. And then you talk about validity and reliability of instrument, because if you use a quantitative, okay, normally you talk about primary data. That means you conduct survey. Okay, you conduct survey, and those data are numbers. Okay, you have numbers, and then you want to see what are the relationship, what is the cause effect, and based on the data that you have, can you do prediction? Is there? And then at the same time, you're going to test with with the sample size that you have. You get the result of the study, and then you want to make a comparison. Is there any difference between male and female? Is there any difference between part 1, part 2, and part 3? Okay, what is the relationship? So these are the tests that you're looking at when you conduct the primary, when you collect primary data for your study. The second one is what we call as secondary data. Secondary data, you can use financial statement or reports to do the analysis. Any questions so far? And then you talk about variance. Okay, you need to know what is mean, median, mode, what is skewness, what is kurtosis. All these are basic terms that you need to understand. Any questions so far? And then when you analyze data, then you can prepare a frequency distribution, you can prepare histogram, you can draw your pie chart. Okay, so before you can conduct any statistical test, you need to determine the distribution. Okay, how is your result looks like, the distributions of your scores. Is it a bell shape? If it is a bell shape, it's considered as normal distribution. If it is not a bell shape, therefore it is skewed. If it is skewed, it can be positive skewed, or it can be negatively skewed. So which one? Is it positively skewed or is it negatively skewed? Some of the skewness can be accepted as within normal range. You say it is normal. You can say accept, even though it is skewed, you can say it is still normal, and you can conduct the statistical test. But after a certain level, the skewness is too high. Okay, it is skewed, really skewed, and it is departure from normality. Therefore, you cannot conduct the parametric test. You have to conduct non-parametric test. So you need to know what is normal distribution. Okay, you have the graph and so on. So, and then the median. What is what is meant by median? Mean, median, mode. You know, isn't it? What is mean, median, mode?
Yes, doctor.
Okay. Kalau tak tahu nanti kena baca lah ya.
Yes, doctor.
The dispersions of distribution. If you were to read anti-fail, okay, it is in chapter 1. Okay, it will be in chapter 1. Whatever I mentioned just is in chapter 1. And then after that, in statistics, you need to know the meaning is what is meant by population. Okay, population, they talk about sample. So the sample must represent the population. So what is population and what is sample? You need to know the term between these two. Because we cannot, we are unable to conduct statistical or do survey for the population. So since we have limited time and so forth, budget, therefore normally people will do sample size. Okay, will determine the sample, the number of respondents to be selected. Then you have type of sampling. You have random sampling, systematic sampling, cluster sampling. So you need to know what type of sampling that you're going to use. Then standard deviation. Okay, mean, median, mode, standard deviation. These are the terms that you should know. Standard error. Okay. And then confidence interval. These are the terms you have to know. Okay. Nanti kena baca ya. You have to read. So basically, you'll be in second chapter. Okay, in chapter 2 of your test. And then what is one tail test, two tail test, what is type 1 error, what is type 2 errors. You need to know that. If you have studied this I think you have covered that in your research methodology. Okay. That's why your RAC743 and your research methodology is about the same, not much. except that you're in this paper we're more on the analysis. Okay, any question so far?
Prof,
So,
are you sharing the screen?
Hmm?
Are you sharing the screen?
No,
No, okay.
I'm not sharing the screen. I'm just talking. I did not put my video on. You also did not put your video on, kan?
Yeah.
Why you all did not put your video on, yeah?
Too sexy, doctor.
Huh?
Too sexy.
It consume data. When you put on video, you consume your data. That's why normally I try to avoid you put on video. Whether you disappear, your name is there, but you're not around, only God knows. Allah knows better than me, right? Okay. So have you answered the questionnaire?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Doctor.
Okay. So assuming you conduct a survey, okay, assuming you conduct a study, this is what normally you do, okay? In any survey, if you want to do your research for your dissertation, okay, you want to do your research for your dissertation, first thing first is you have to find your supervisor. Okay, who would like to be your supervisor? Sometimes when you got the supervisor will ask you what your research area, what you want to do, okay? And sometimes they ask you, okay, do this, okay, according to what you want, not according to what you want. So it all depends on your supervisor, how to handle. And I said, how you want to handle your supervisor. When I studied, my supervisor tells me, do whatever that you want. Okay, you can choose any topic, you can choose anything. That's what my supervisor said. So same thing with me. If I want to supervise my student, all this one, when I supervise my student, I say, what you want to do? You tell me what you want to do, I will not tell you what to do. You tell me what you want to do, and then I will guide you. Make sure you find a research area that is possible to do within how many months? 3 months or 4 months. Okay, find a research area that we can be completed within 3 months. Don't do those that are very bombastic and so on, that you cannot collect your data. Make sure you can collect your data. Okay, you can collect your data easily, and then you can do the analysis. There are enough respondents. Don't do those that are difficult. Sometimes you might not get the respondent to respond, especially when you use survey. Okay, when you do conduct a survey, either you use online survey or you distribute the questionnaire by mail. There are certain hard time, okay, to get the response. So that's why you need to know your area. And then in any topic that you need to do, you need to know the population, the estimated populations of your respondent. For example, you want to study about MIA, one topic that related to accountant, and then these accountants are registered accountants. So your reference will be MIA, Malaysian Institute of Accountants. You need to know the estimated numbers of registered accountants in MIA. How many of them? Okay, are you going to do it in Malaysia? That means if Malaysia, it covers from Perlis right up to Sabah. Or are you going to study just accountant members, MIA accountant, who are only in Selangor, who are only in Perlis, who are only in Kelantan, or only in Sabah? So you need to specify. You need to narrow from the big population, now you're going to reduce. Okay, let's say I want to use in Selangor. In Selangor, you have a population of accountants in Selangor who are registered with MIA. What are the numbers? Okay, so are you going to conduct all survey to the registered accountants in Selangor with MIA? Let's say a registered accountant in Selangor who are registered with MIA, you have about 3,000. Are you going to conduct survey with the 3,000 accountants? Or you need to do sample? That's why you need to know what is the estimated population. Based on the estimated population, you need to determine the sample. So you need to determine the sample size. the sample size is the minimum numbers of respondents that you should get in order to be your result to be considered as representative. Okay.
Doctor,
Yeah.
Doctor, how about if, say, we already get our sample, but then our respondent is not sufficient? Like, say, upon calculated the sample, say we get to find 300 respondents, and then when the actual data collected was only maybe half of it. So how are we going to justify it?
So your data is considered not representative of the population. You cannot generalize. Okay, you cannot generalize the result because the sample, what is sample? Sample represent the population, isn't it? Your sample, the sample must be representative of the population. If you to calculate the sample should be 300. Okay, the sample that represent the population, but now you only get 150. Does it represent? It doesn't represent. That's why when you want to collect, you have to do more. How many questionnaires did you distribute? If you need 300 questions and you need to get 300 respondents, that means 300 respondents, did you calculate how many questionnaires that you have to distribute? You have to calculate. If you calculate 300, and then you distribute the one that is written on is 150, half of it, isn't it? That is your response rate. Your response rate is not enough. So how that means how many questions you should distribute? So 300, you have to divide by 0.5, divide by half. Therefore, the numbers of questionnaire that you should distribute is 600 because the response rate is 50. If the response rate is 50%, if you distribute 300, you get 150. If you distribute 600, you get 300. That is sufficient. Most likely you get 300. If the tendency is less than that, therefore you should distribute more than 600. That's why you need to determine your response rate in order to determine the questionnaire that needs to be distributed. Okay, any question? Yeah, answer your question?
Yes.
Doktor, pernah terjadi tak, let's say kita punya respon lebih banyak daripada sample size?
Alhamdulillah.
So meaning kita pilih yang ikut kita sendirilah, doktor, yang mana respon mana yang should be included in our data, is it?
No. Not that way, because you need to determine, okay, you want to do your one study, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's say I want to conduct a study that are related to accountant, registered accountant in Malaysia. So the title of my topic is registered accountant in Malaysia. What does it mean? It is from Perlis right up to Sabah. All accountants that are registered with MIA. Understood? So therefore, in order to do that, I need to determine how many accountants are registered from Perlis to Sabah. Most likely, I have about 11,000 respondents, 11,000 registered accountants in Malaysia, from Perlis to Sabah. So therefore, I know that the estimated population is 1,000. So I need to know what is my confidence level. That's why I asked you to read what is confidence level. And then I need to know what is the confidence interval. Therefore, I need to know what is my confidence interval. After you know the estimated population, the confidence level, and the confidence interval, then only you'll be able to calculate your sample size. Most likely, out of 11,000 in entire Malaysia that are registered with MIA, I have to conduct only, I need to get only about 300 respondents. That's all. Out of 11,000, I need to get 300 respondents. So out of this 300 respondents, how am I to choose this 300 respondents? Is it everybody from Selangor? If everybody from Selangor, is it representative accountants from Malaysia? You just select Selangor. You have to majority your respondents, all the respondents from that you conducted is from Selangor. Therefore, it is not representative. So maybe you have to break up. Okay. Therefore, in terms of cluster sampling, out of 1100, okay, you know 11,000. Registered accountant in Perlis, how many are in Perlis? How many in Kelantan? How many in Terengganu? How many in Pahang? And then you need to get 300. Therefore, most likely you have to prorate. Okay, if in Selangor you have 3,000, therefore you're in 3,000 registered accountant in Selangor divided by total accountants in Malaysia 11,000. 3,000 divided by 11,000 multiplied by 300. Because 300 is your sample size. Therefore, you know, from Selangor, out of 300, I need to get this number. If Perlis only have 300 registered accountants. Therefore, 300 you divided by 11,000 multiplied by 300. So out of 300 samples, okay, Perlis, I should get this number. You use the proportion of the number of registered accountants. You can do that. And after that, you do systematic sampling. You use random sampling. That means all the types of, you perform the cluster sampling, at the same time you perform the random sampling. So those are the things that you have to calculate first before you conduct the test. So make sure that your results are representative of the population. Okay. Now I'm just concentrating on Selangor. Therefore, your title of your research cannot be in Malaysia. Registered accountants in Selangor. So you're not only focusing on Selangor itself. That's all. Not other states. Only Selangor also. In Selangor, how many? You have 3,000. So are you going to conduct 3,000? I don't have time to conduct the 3,000. So you have to calculate the sample. So instead of 3,000, most likely based on the 3,000 estimated population, the sample size is maybe 250. Therefore, you conduct 250 or 180. Therefore, you get at least 180. So in order to get 180, you need to determine what is the response rate based on the literature. So your sample size, you have to divide by the response rate in order for you to distribute the questions. That is as a guide. So the response that you get, it can be less or it can be more. Okay. Other people conducted a survey, the response rate is 60%. When you conduct the survey, if you're good, most likely get more than 60%. If it is not good, most likely you get less than 60%. So you have to take the risk. Understood? That is what you call as under research design. That is under your research methodology, chapter 3, if you do your dissertation. Okay, any questions so far? Okay. If you want to determine your sample size, can you Google? Instead, you use a survey calculator. Find survey, calculate sample size, survey calculator. So you Google. Anybody can share the screen? You search sample size calculator.
Is it this one, Doctor?
Okay, you can use SurveyMonkey.
Okay.
Let's see, what is our estimated population size? Let's say you put 10,000.
Okay.
Okay, confidence level 95%. Margin error 5%. Okay, calculate.
Okay.
Can you calculate? Tak boleh calculate. Kalau tak boleh calculate, you don't use SurveyMonkey, use others. Survey system, if you're not mistaken. That one. No.
Oh, this one.
Okay, survey system.
Okay.
Okay. Confidence level 95%. Confidence interval 5%. Population 10,000. How about the others? Okay, use survey system. You can calculate.
370.
370. Dapat lagi?
Tak payah letak persen tu.
Oh, tak persen.
Persen tak letak. Yeah.
Okay, alright, 370.
Okay. That is the minimum size of your sample for your study is 370. So based on 370, if the response rate is 60%, so how many questionnaire that you have to distribute? Because if you to distribute 370, no, you cannot do that. Okay, you have to calculate manually.
Okay.
Okay, 370, you need to get at least 370. Are you sure that when you distribute 370, all of them are going to respond to you?
Not really.
No, not really. So how many percent? Based on your study, let's say 60% will respond. So if 60% to respond, you distribute 370, how much you get?
222.
222. It is not sufficient. It doesn't represent. So how many questionnaires do you have to distribute if the response rate is 60%? So 370.
617.
How much? How many?
617.
You have to distribute 370. How you get 670?
60%, 370 times 100 divided by 60. So 370 is actually 60% of the 600.
Yes. Okay, 370 divided by 60%.
Okay.
Doctor. Hello.
Yeah.
On the population, if I put the number unlimitedly, the sample size remain 384.
Yes.
So if the population is too large, so
yes,
the sample size is remain 354, is it?
Yes.
I see. Okay.
Okay.
Because my research, in my research proposal, I mentioned that my population is unlimited in number. Because,
what do you mean your population is unlimited in numbers?
Because I am studying about the shadow economy. So there is no statistic or there is no exact amount. How can we measure the people that relate to the shadow economy?
Are you going to study about the respondent in the entire world?
No.
Or are you studying about Malaysia?
Malaysia.
Malaysia?
Yes.
Okay. What is the registered based on statistics department? What is the number of population in Malaysia?
About 32 million.
That is your population.
I see.
You study in Malaysia, there must be a number. You cannot say unlimited. You get it? You study in Malaysia. That means what is the population of Malaysia? 30 million. Therefore, your population is estimated population of your study is 32 million. So based on that 32 million, what is your sample size? You got it?
Because I'm studying about the shadow economy that related to the underground business.
Yes. Where?
In Kedah and Perlis actually.
So in Kedah and Perlis, therefore you have to be specific in Kedah and in Perlis. Why you put in Malaysia? Then your research methodology is already wrong.
I see. So actually I need to mention the population of people in Kedah and Perlis, is it?
Yes. There are the numbers of population. Okay, based on statistical department, the population of Kedah and Perlis is this number. So your study will be in Kedah and Perlis. You define your scope of your study. Cannot be too broad.
I see. Okay.
Got it?
Okay, got it.
So let's say your population is only 120. Okay, what is your sample size?
92.
92. So are you going to do 92 or are you going to do 120?
92. We need sample size 92, so we should have 92 respondent lah. Is it? Oh, okay.
The best thing is to conduct your study the entire population.
Okay.
Not using sample.
Okay.
Because your population is 120, your sample size is 92. Is there any difference? 92 and 120?
Not much.
Not much.
Not
Therefore,
much.
your study will be entire population.
Oh.
Understood?
Okay, faham.
That is what you need. This is the things I'm guiding you to your dissertation. Understand or not?
Yes, Doctor.
Understand, Doctor.
Okay, any question now? So that is where you determine your sample size. Okay, that is the response rate. Okay, you know your sample size, you need to know your response rate. Sometimes the response rate based on literature, it can be higher and lower than yours. We do not know. Don't take the risk. That's why I said, you have to be very specific. Who is your respondent? You have to determine. And then what is the estimated population of that respondent? Like your friend just said, unlimited. I said, no. Nak study kat the whole entire world atau you nak study kat Malaysia? Malaysia berapa population dia? 32 million. Okay, therefore sample size is daripada Sabah sampai Perlis sampai Sabah is 32 million. Oh no, I'm doing Sabah in Perlis and Kedah. Therefore, your scope of study is only Kedah and Perlis. So what is the numbers of population in Sabah and in Kedah and Perlis? From that, then what is your sample size? So at least you meet that one. Okay?
Doctor.
If you use, yes.
Doctor, I come across this one 10% rule in statistics. So in what condition that this rule applies?
rule, sometimes it doesn't make sense. Okay, okay, let's say 10% rule. You have 120 100, your population is 120. What is the 10% rule? How many responded? You understand what I mean?
12,000.
Huh? Tak. You only have 120. Your population is 120. What is your 10% rule?
12.
Cukup.
Dah cukup.
That's why you have to read according to the context lah. That 10% macam mana? And then satu lagi kalau you baca artikel, okay? The sample, okay, it starts to become normal when the sample size is 30. What does it mean? It starts to become normal when the sample size is 30. Is it normal? Ini student lalu guna juga. It starts to be a normal distribution when the sample size is 30. Kalau when it says it starts, is it normal or not normal yet?
Not normal yet.
Not normal yet.
Not normal.
It starts. You want to run 100 meters, right? It starts to run. Starts to run. Have you finished or you just beginning?
Just the beginning.
Just beginning, yeah.
Yeah, that is not. Some authors use that quotation. I said, no, you cannot do that. It is wrong. Misinterpret. Because dia sample kecil kan, so dia buat ayam tu just to fulfill the result they got. You can't do that. Okay, so in just now, let's say the samples of 120, the sample size is 92. Are you going to use sample or use population? Better, your study, use the population, the entire population. Therefore, if you can get all 120, it's good. Okay, I got only 90. Okay, out of 120 population, and only 60% responded. Fine, there's no problem because you conducted the entire population. If you say sample, then yeah, you should get 92. That represents the sample. Okay, that is where you determine your sample. So once you have determined your sample, secondly, based on your reading, you know that what is the response rate. Therefore, you divide. Okay, the sample size divided by the response rate. That is the numbers, the minimum numbers of questionnaires that you have to distribute. Just now is 670, correct? Isn't it? When you calculate earlier. Okay, 670. That is the minimum numbers of questionnaires that you have to distribute. What if, in your case, the response rate is 55%? So 55% out of 670, how much? Then you get 370? Tak dapat kan? What's the number? 55% of say 660. 660.
368.
368. How many we want? We want 370, right?
370, yes.
Therefore, you cannot. Understood? That means 670 is the minimum. So you have to, maybe most likely you distribute 700. If 55% of 700, then it's better than you get more than 670. That's how you
Betul,
play
let's
around.
say macam case tadi, let's say tak cukup sikit, and then kita distribute to another person, boleh ke doktor?
No. Because you have the time frame. Okay, so let me clear first. Let me finish first. Okay. Now you know how many questions you have to distribute. And said, first thing, you determine your confidence level, you determine your confidence interval, therefore you need to know your estimated population. So if accountants, in Malaysia, in accountants, you go to MIA, you get accountant. If doctors, you go to KKM to get how many registered accountants. If engineers, you go to Engineer Society in Malaysia. Architect, you go to Architect Association in Malaysia, PIAM, and so on. Okay, you get the numbers. That is the estimated registered numbers of population. Then you can click. After you know the estimated population, you need to know your confidence level. You need to know your confidence interval. You calculate the sample size. So based on the sample size, this is the sample that you get. And based on your study readings, what is the response rate? So your sample size divided by your response rate, you get the number of questionnaires that you have to distribute. That is the minimum numbers of questionnaires that you should distribute. So to avoid the risk of getting less, you increase some more. Okay, there's no much risk. There's no difference. If you distribute more, better. Okay, it helps you a lot later on. So if you want to distribute a questionnaire, let's say you must have a time frame. This I'm talking about research methodology, chapter 3. Okay, this is your research design. You already set the question. You have the questionnaire ready with you. Okay, you want to distribute. Let's say I'm going to distribute on 1st of January. Okay. How long I distributed this questionnaire to 700 respondents? How long should we wait to get the response? Tell me. How long you should wait to get the response?
Around 2 weeks, doctor?
Around 2 weeks. So around 2 weeks, that means by 15th of January. So you expect the respondent to give the feedback, to give you the response from the 3rd until the 15th. Correct? So out of 700 that you distributed, how many did you receive? You have to record. Most likely the 3rd day you already received, the 5th, and you add up. Okay, in total, out of 700 questionnaires that you distributed, you only got 150. So you need 370. Now you get 150 on the by the 15th. That means it can be from the 2nd until the 15th. That is the response that you got. Fine. It is insufficient. So what you need to do now, if you do not get the numbers?
Remind them.
Okay. You have to send first reminder. Okay. The first reminder. Okay. Do you know or not which respondent did not respond?
Most likely cannot identify.
How can you identify the respondent did not respond? How do you know that the respondent did not respond? And then how are you going to send a reminder?
Send to all, doctor.
Huh?
Send a general reminder to all.
General reminder. Do you want? Okay. Let's say you send it to me last time, isn't it? The first one you send it to me. But I did not receive your questionnaire. How am I going to respond?
So include the questionnaire together with the reminder?
Yes, you have to the first reminder, you have to include the questionnaire. That's why you need to be able to identify who the respondent did not respond. Understood? Therefore, in your instrument, when talking about your survey, in your instrument, you must have a code that identifies the respondent. Understood? You must be able to identify in your instrument, in your questionnaire, who responded or who did not respond. Then okay, these are the guys that have responded, these are the guys that have not responded. So you just send a reminder attached with the questionnaire again to the non-respondent. Okay. So on the that means your preparations to send the reminder have to be carried out by the 15th. By the 15th. That means before that you have to prepare first. You have to check from time to time. So let's say on the 15th, you have cut off point. Okay. Then you're going to send a second reminder. When are you going to send a second reminder? Is it immediately on the 15th or is it a few days later? You have to decide. We say, okay, on the 15th, they did not respond. Okay, in a week, I want to check and so forth. Those who do not respond, then it takes me about 5 days. So by the 20th, I send the second reminder by attaching the questionnaire. How long do you have to wait? How long are you willing to wait for the respondent to respond? You must have a time frame. Understood? So now how long you want to wait to get a response from after sending the first reminder? The original 2 weeks. So the first reminder, how many weeks you want to wait? Tanjir?
Yes, Prof.
How long you want to wait?
Sorry, Prof. May I get the question again, please? I'm sorry.
You didn't listen to me?
I'm sorry, Prof.
Okay, now you get a response on the 15th. It takes about 5 days for you to check out who did not respond and so on. So you send a second reminder on the 20th. How long you have to wait for the respondent to respond?
Maybe 5 days.
5 days. Are you sure? You have to be you must give a reasonable time.
Maybe 2 or 3 days. Because we already give the 5 days. Maybe the second after the second reminder, we should shut the time of deadline.
Say like this. Okay, if you were to use mail, you're going to use by mail or you're going to use online? Online.
Yes.
Okay. So have you read which one is better, online or by mail?
Online?
Online better.
I think by mail better sebab kita tahu kan.
I do not know.
I think online better sebab more response rate, lebih mudah untuk jawab questionnaire.
Okay.
Online
Doktor,
better.
kalau mail kalau mail takut tak sampai kita post tu.
Okay, mail tak sampai. Kalau tak mail sampai.
Kalau macam online, at least we know they have read our message or what not, because right now kita boleh tengok scene dia dah scene ke belum kita punya online lah, I mean.
Okay.
Online
So so if you give 5 days, therefore that means if you to distribute the cursor again, send a reminder on the 20th. So when do you expect the respondent to respond to you?
Within 3 days?
Within 3 days. Because no, this is your research design, you understand? Okay, if 3 days, good. You put the 3 days. So that means if on the 20th, by the 23rd you did not receive. So what are you going to do next? So let's say you send a reminder, okay, to the others. You distributed 700 just now, right? So responded only 150, left you with 550 who did not respond. So you send the first reminder to 550 respondents.
Doctor,
you waited for 3 days.
maybe because of number of respondents too big, maybe we need to extend for another 7 days, for example.
I don't know. That's why I said when you put the time frame, make sure it is reasonable. Don't put a knife on your neck. Understood?
Understood.
Don't put a knife on your neck. or don't put a gun on your head. People will put it, and then what's going to happen to you? You got shot dead. Give a reasonable time for the respondent to respond. And then, let's say just now I said 3 days. After the 23rd, some of it, you only receive 1 or 10. Now your sample size, you got already 160. So you need to have, you have to send the second reminder. When are you going to send the second reminder? So are you going to attach the instrument again or the link again? If online, yes, you just attach the link. If it is by mail, then you don't have to attach your questionnaire anymore because it's very costly. Okay. If you use by mail, make sure you have self-written envelope with a stamp. Understood?
Understood.
Self-written envelope. Why? That guy will not go to the post office to buy a stamp, okay, to put an envelope and mail it to you. No, they don't have the time. If you have self-addressed, written self-addressed envelope with a stamp, they just fill in the questionnaire, they put in the envelope, and then they just mail it to you. That's it. Okay. Any question? Ahmad Faisal, any question, Ahmad Faisal?
So far, so good, Doctor.
So far, so good. At what time you join the class?
At 9, Doctor.
At 9.
Yeah.
Next time be punctual.
All right, Doctor.
Shafika, what time you join the class, Shafika? Shafika ada ke? No Shafika. Ada?
Ada.
Nah, what time you join the class?
9 something.
9 something. Next time be punctual. The reason is why if you tak punctual, apa I cerita dulu, you tak tahu, and then you ikut tengah-tengah, you are lost. Okay? Just now I go through the introduction just now. Betul tak, Armizi?
Betul, Doktor.
My class, you miss my class, then you're going to have difficulty. Okay, that's why I say you need to be punctual.
Alright, Dr. Sorry.
Okay, and then you send the second reminder. The second reminder, isn't it? I said, okay. Second reminder, when are you going to send the second reminder? After how many days you receive? So let's say the last date to receive the response, katalah, let's say by the 5th of February. On the 5th of February, if you do not receive any response, they are considered as non-response. Okay? If you do not receive anything from the respondent that you have received the question, it is considered as non-respondent. So after all your effort that you have put, after sending the second reminder and so on, now you collected 180. Okay, so that is 180. So your response rate will be 180 divided by 700. That is your response rate. Understood? That is what you need to report in your findings in chapter 4. Okay.
So Doctor, our response tu tak cukup in population. Is it okay ke Doctor macam ni?
Therefore, your result is not representative.
Okay, understood.
To be representative, it must be 370. Therefore, you cannot generalize your result. Understood? In order to generalize, it must be 370 and above. Since your response that you got is only 180, okay, they short off how many? 180, 210. Okay, it is considered as you cannot generalize. So you have to report the response rate based on the number of questionnaires that you have distributed.
Doctor?
Yeah.
In that case, in our findings, we have to mention that we cannot generalize the result, or we have to conduct another interview or another research.
No. Because you have your limited time. You only got 3 months to do your study. You cannot continue. You cannot extend.
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering
You
if
cannot.
we didn't get enough response
The
the
only thing
time
is
frame.
that you can only conclude that based on what the respondent that you receive.
Okay, that will be
You
accepted,
cannot
right?
generalize to the population. Understand what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
You cannot generalize to the population. You can only conclude based on the respondent. That's why in qualitative, yeah, you only have one respondent. That's why in qualitative, you can conduct one study, case study that is for it, based on one response. Okay?
Okay, doctor.
Okay, good. So that's why you have to calculate. Okay, now, if you're using instrument, okay, you need to make sure, this is when I studied, okay, my PhD, okay, you need to use an established instrument, okay, those instruments that have been used, established, I mean, that have been published, that have been used by previous authors and so on. Don't develop on your own. Don't create your new instrument. Because if people knows about statistics, you get short. They will ask you about, okay, they will ask you about your reliability and validity of your instrument. Is your instrument valid? Is it reliable? How far is it reliable? So you don't have the expertise. So that's why when I study, they say don't create your own. Use establish those instruments that have been used by others. That's already established. You know the Chromba alpha, you know the validity, you know the reliability of the instrument that have been used before. So use them. If you need to modify, so based on the instrument, you can adapt or you can adopt. Okay. You adopt, you take the whole set of questions. If you adapt, you make some changes to the instrument. Let's say they have 10 questions for that particular construct. Okay, and based on that construct, there are 10 items or 10 questions. One of the questions are not related, it's not applicable to your study. So you do not want to use item number 3, for example. Item number 3 in that instrument is not applicable to your study. The only item that is applicable is 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Only 9 items are applicable. Item number 3 is not applicable. So you are not adopting the instrument. You are adapting. So you are removing number 3. So in your research methodology, you have to inform the readers. You use Mr. ABC, you use Armizi's instrument, but you adapt Armizi's instrument, but you did not use item number 3 from Armizi's instrument, then give a reason why you did not use item number 3. You only use 9. Understood? That means you're adapting, you're not adopting. Adopting, you use everything. Now, you only adapt. Only one question you not use. And therefore, you have to inform to the readers in your research methodology, how many questions you have? Only you use 9 out of 10. And you have to specify which question, well, which item that you do not use and why, the reason. Understood? That is when you conduct quantitative. That's your research design. Okay, any questions so far? So, lepas after you got your question back, then you have to key into your statistical software. It can be in your Excel, it can be in your SPSS, it can be in your eViews, or it can be in your SAS software to conduct the statistical test. Any questions so far?
No, doctor.
No. Okay, good. Now let's take a look. Okay, one of you can. Have you answered the instrument questionnaire?
Yes,
The answer?
doctor.
Done. Okay, well, you have already answered that. Good. So, I'm going to share the screen. Okay, can you see this one? The instrument that you have? The same, isn't it? Okay, if you look at this question, this instrument, on the this one, can you see the one? SA123 on your left. What does it mean? What is
Serial
this?
number.
What is this?
Alam.
That could represent the location, the area. Understood? SA is Shah Alam. If Perlis, maybe I use Perlis is RA. Okay. Kalau Kedah, maybe I use KA. If Kelantan, I might use DA. If Terengganu, I might use TA. Okay, if Sarawak, Kuching, maybe I use QA. Faham? To identify the location or the state that represent the respondent comes from which state. Okay. If you're talking doing in Selangor, Selangor, therefore most likely you use according to the district. Kuala Selangor, okay, and then what? Taling Jaya, whatever district in Selangor. So the two characters represent the location. And what is 1, 2, 3? What is 1, 2, 3? These numbers. What does it represent?
Survey form sequence.
Yes, survey sequence. It starts from 001, 002, 003 until 100, 100, 102, 102, 120, 120, 123, it's 123. Understood? That is the survey sequence number from that particular state. Understood? So therefore, when you get back from your respondent, okay, because you already prepared the list. These are 150 respondents that I sent. So now I got from SA123. So I check. Okay, SA123 already responded. Understood? And then you know who responded and who did not respond. It's for you to send a reminder. And then I have page 104. This one. What does it mean?
This survey has 4 pages, and this is the page number 1.
Yes, that means you're telling the respondent this instrument consists of 4 pages. And then it's the first page. If they receive missing pages, then they cannot answer all. So therefore, those responses cannot be used in your study. You have page 1, page 2, page 3 is missing. So they know that they should have 4 pages. But if you do not have the page number, they doesn't know. Or the last page number is missing, they doesn't know. So in this case, you should get lastly is page 4 or 4. Then when they understand that there are 4 pages, everything is there. If you do not push page number, page 1 of how many, the total number of pages, then it's very difficult. You submitted 10 pages, they only receive 8. Oh, so they expect only 8 pages. That's it. So they didn't know how many pages is missing. So that response cannot be used anymore, even though you got it. Understood? Oh, so this is the title of the survey, the study. Okay. And then you have part 1. Okay. Or you can be part A, section A, section B, whatever. You just name it according to what you know. And then the title. This is the construct. The cognitive anxiety rating scale. Okay, we want to determine the anxiety of that respondent. And then this is the scale. What is the direction? Give a direction. The question asks you, ask how you feel about using computers. For each statement, please circle the appropriate. So what do you use? Circle. Okay. What is circles mean? That means they have to make a circle like this, roughly around me. Okay, not like this. This is wrong. This is not circle. Understood? This is checking. A circle is circle. Okay, so the rating scale is 1 strongly disagree until 4 strongly agree. Or you can 1 to 5. 1 strongly disagree, 2 moderately disagree, 3 neutral, 3 moderately agree, 4 moderately agree, 5 strongly agree. So you can have either use either odd numbers or even numbers. When you use odd numbers, you give the opportunity to the respondent to be neutral. Okay, if you're 7, number 4 is neutral. Okay, then they doesn't make a decision whether they agree or they disagree. They just be neutral. Then you're going to have a problem when there are too many respondents for give a neutral answer. So if you use even numbers, you force the respondent to agree or to disagree. Okay, let's say your rating scale is 1 to 6. That is even numbers. 1, 2, and 3 disagree. 4, 5, and 6 agree. 3 numbers disagree. 3 numbers agree. Understood? So you are forcing him to make a decision. But if you use odd numbers, you give them the opportunity to be a neutral person. He doesn't tell you that he agree, or he doesn't tell you that he disagree. And then, so which one is right, which one is wrong? Both are correct. Okay, but you have to justify why you use odd numbers and why you use even numbers in your scaling, Likert scale. Any questions so far? So computer anxiety is your construct, and the items is all the questions that are related to computer anxiety. They are similar but not identical. Yes.
Is it okay for us to have neutral in our rating scale? Neutral or undecided?
It's up to you to decide. You justify why you want to have a neutral or undecided. Is it good to have undecided, or it's not good to have undecided? You make a decision. Then you justify why.
For me, I think because some respondent might feel that they do not know whether they want to answer they agree or they didn't agree. So they have this undecided opinion on that particular questions.
And then you justify why you have the undecided option.
Okay, understood.
Okay. If you want to ask them, force them to make a decision, then you justify why you force them to make a decision. Agree or disagree. Okay. If they disagree, it can be strongly disagree, it can be moderately disagree, isn't it? So when you design a question or you when construct, you need to measure. Okay, and you must know what you want to measure. So in this case, I want to measure about computer anxiety. This is what I want to measure. How I measure? I use the RAC scale 1 to 4. How is it? What does it mean? 1 to 4. Okay. If a person who say 4, that means they agree with that statement, strongly agree with that statement. What is it? Are they anxious? Are they less anxious? That's what it meant. How you measure? If a person who to give high response rating, therefore that means they are anxious about the computer, using computer. If they give a low rating scale for the result, okay, that means they are less anxious. That is how I measure. Understood? So you need to know how you measure. What you want to measure, how you're going to measure it. If you are still vague at this, then you're going to have difficulties in conducting your research. Any questions so far? Okay. What you measure, how you're going to measure. So what does it mean? If you give high rating scale, what does it mean to your construct? So in this case, the question asks you about your feeling of using computer. So maybe, okay, for each statement, so if strongly agree, what does it mean? Anxious or not anxious? Okay. So let's see, the first question, I feel insecure about my ability to interpret a computer printout. Okay, for a person who are not anxious, what will be the answer? One Faisal? One more Faisal, what's your answer? I feel insecure about my ability to interpret a computer printout.
Strongly disagree, Doctor. Strongly disagree.
Strongly disagree. What does it mean if you strongly disagree? Are you an anxious person or you're not anxious person?
It means that I'm not an anxious person.
Okay, you're not an anxious person. Okay, correct. Okay. Okay, second one. I look forward to using a computer on my job. Afifi.
Yes, Doctor.
I look forward to using a computer on my job.
My answer is moderately agree.
If you are an anxious person, no. We take the extreme, okay? We take either strongly disagree or strongly agree, right?
Okay, alright.
You're not going to take moderate, okay? This is easy, okay? If you were to say that you are not anxious person.
If not anxious person, meaning I will take number one, strongly disagree.
If you're not anxious, I look forward to using a computer on my job. If you're not an anxious person, you agree or you disagree? You strongly agree or strongly disagree?
I look forward.
If you are not anxious person.
Not anxious meaning I strongly disagree.
You're not anxious. Okay.
Okay, alright.
Do you know what you mean by look forward?
Look forward, maksudnya nak guna komputer lah.
Like this.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to see my girlfriend.
Okay.
You like that girlfriend, your girl, isn't it? So I'm looking forward. If you don't like her, are you looking forward?
No.
No. So now, you like, that means you look forward. If you don't like?
Okay, kalau I don't like, so meaning I disagree lah.
If you're anxious.
Oh, anxious, strongly agree.
Salah tu.
Strongly disagree.
Strongly disagree.
Strongly disagree.
You're afraid of.
You're afraid of using computer. You are very anxious. You're takut nak guna computer. Therefore, you are not looking forward. You akan elak. Therefore, you will disagree with that statement.
Okay.
Okay, the first question. I feel insecure about my ability to interpret a computer printout. Understand? What does it mean? Saya takut.
Saya takut, yeah.
So kalau you anxious, what will you say? If you're anxious person, you memang penakut.
Strongly agree.
You strongly agree. If you tak takut, you say that you strongly disagree. Faham tu? Okay. Therefore, when answering the question, you have to read. Therefore, you tahu lah orang ni tipu tak tipu. Dia faham tak apa yang dia time. And you have to catch.
Doktor, can you explain back yang I look forward tu, I masih tak boleh, my mind masih tak boleh kenapa agree, disagree tu, Doktor.
Macam ni lah ya.
Okay.
Ada perempuan nak jumpa you. There's one girl who like to see you.
Okay.
She's very beautiful. And she meet your taste.
Okay.
You looking forward to meet her or not?
Okay, I look forward.
Therefore, Anxious or not anxious? You're not anxious, huh? You like her, isn't it? Therefore you go. So you say strongly agree. Strongly agree because you look forward to see her. Okay. And then there's one girl also would like to meet you, but she's not that beautiful. Okay, because beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. Okay, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder based on your eyes. Okay.
Okay. Tapi doktor, kalau macam tu, kalau I look forward, maksudnya nanti I nervous lah maksudnya doktor. Ke tak doktor?
You're not nervous.
Ya ke macam tu?
Yes.
Oh.
Kalau you tak
because kalau meaning that kalau I look forward, maksudnya I ada anxiety nak jumpa dia.
Bukan anxiety nak jumpa, you suka nak jumpa dia.
Oh, macam tu pula. Okay.
Sekarang ni kalau you takut, dia takut dengan tak takut. You're afraid or you're not afraid.
Oh.
Okay, anxiety is whether you're afraid or you're not afraid.
I ingatkan anxiety tu macam seronok nak jumpa.
That means you're very anxious, you're looking forward.
I mean, bila I look forward tu maksudnya seronok nak jumpa. Macam tu lah. I think like that.
Itu when talk about person and about job. You look forward or doing your job with a computer. Sekarang you ask you to do manual and you ask to do with a computer. Which one you prefer?
I do computer.
The computer. Why? You look forward rather than do it manually because you are not afraid of a computer. If you are afraid of computer, not so computer or do it manually. You say, I'm going to do it manually rather than computer because you are afraid. Got it? Okay, number 3. I do not think I will be able to learn computer programming language if you are anxious. Hanis, what will your answer?
If you anxious, right? I do not think I will able to. Strongly agree.
Strongly agree. I do not think. Okay. Okay. The first question. Okay. The challenge of learning about computers is exciting. Leslie.
Yes, Prof.
The challenge of learning about computers is exciting. If you are an anxious person, what will you answer?
Strongly disagree.
Strongly disagree.
Strongly disagree.
Okay. Faham? Okay, then take a look at this question. Anyone can learn to use a computer if they are patient and motivated.
Strongly disagree.
Strongly disagree.
Strongly disagree. Okay, good. So can you see the difference? There are some questions that you says that strongly agree and strongly disagree, even though you are anxious person. Understood? Okay, take a look at question number 8. Okay, if you're an anxious person, what is the answer?
Strongly agree.
Strongly agree. Question number 10. Question number 10.
Strongly agree.
Strongly agree. Question number 15.
Strongly agree.
Strongly disagree.
Strongly agree.
Strongly agree. Question number 16. If you're anxious?
Strongly disagree.
Strongly disagree.
Disagree.
Can you see the difference?
Yes.
What is it? Okay, in these questions, there are two types of statements that we made. What are the type of statements?
Positive and negative.
Okay, positive and negative statements, correct. Which one are positive statement?
For example, the second question.
I'm confident.
Mm-hmm. Look forward.
Look forward.
Okay, that are positive statements. Negative statement? Okay. So can you see between positive and negative statement? Okay. When that statements are made, okay, to determine a person that are anxious, which statement that represent the person is anxious, and that is the measurement that I use. That is the skill that is correctly. I said an anxious person will give high scale, high rating. So which statement that represent high rating scale? Strongly agree. So is it positive statement or negative statement?
It's a negative statement.
Hmm?
It's a negative statement.
Negative statements. Negative statements, those answer negative statements that strongly agree, that it shows that that person is very anxious. Understood?
Understood.
Okay. Positive statement, if the person is anxious, they give you the response, strongly disagree. Got it?
Yes, okay.
Okay. If the person who are anxious, negative statement they give 4, positive statement will give 1. Understand or not?
He disagree.
Yes. Positive statement he put disagree. I look forward to use computer. If I am anxious, I strongly agree or strongly disagree?
Disagree.
Disagree. Strongly disagree. That's the positive statement. Okay, like this. Write down. Can you write down? 1, strongly disagree. 4, strongly agree. Okay? 1, strongly disagree. 4 or 5, 5. Okay, 1 strongly disagree. 5 strongly agree. Your answer is either 1 or 5. I'm to measure about whether you like anything that are sweets. Okay, anything that are sweets. That is my measurement. That is my constant. Anything that are sweets. Okay. My first question is, I like ice cream. I like ice cream. 1 or 5? 1 or 5?
5.
Person who to like
5.
anything that is sweet. 5. Okay, write down 5. Okay. I like cakes. 1 or 5?
5.
5.
5.
5.
Okay. I dislike candies.
1.
1.
1.
Okay. So this person likes something that are sweets, right?
Yes.
Okay. If you total up the marks, what is the total marks?
11.
11.
Right or wrong?
Wrong.
If the total correct or wrong?
Wrong.
Wrong. Why is it wrong?
Need to reverse the negative one. Need to reverse score.
You have to reverse. Which one that you have to reverse score?
Negative statement.
Negative statement. Instead of which one is the negative statement?
Question number 3.
Yes, question number 3. I dislike. Because the positive statement measure what it's supposed to measure.
Doctor, in the case if we put negative statement as -1, -2, -3, -4, can I just add like that?
Cannot put the -1, -2. Your skill is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Understand.
You cannot simply change. Okay? You cannot simply change. You have to follow according to the scale. 1 to 5. That is standard scale. So, positive statement, you give strongly agree. That's what you want to measure. Okay, so if you were to add up, you get 11. Therefore, your total is wrong. What you need to do, you have to reverse the score. Not the question, but the score. That is the negative statement. The positive statement measures what they're supposed to measure. Because they like candies, they like cakes, they like ice cream. But the negative statement is the opposite. So that respondent disagree with the statement. Actually, he like candies. Therefore, I dislike candidates, therefore you put strongly disagree. So you have to reverse. Instead of 1, it should be 5. Understood? That is how you have to read the questions.
Prof.
Yes.
Yeah, just to make it simple, simple, can we just avoid negative questions?
Yes, can. There are some questions that are put positive and negative. There are some questions that are just positive or just negative. But why people put positive and negative? But why you put all positive or all negative? Why? There's a reason. Let's say a person who doesn't want to answer your question but are forced to answer. I can give my response. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, zigzag. 5, first question. 5, the first question. Second question, 4. The third question is 3. Okay, then 2, then 1. Then I go back to 2, 3, 4, 5, zigzag. I can answer that. Or I can just all 5 without looking at the questions. Do you want me to do that for you or not?
Yeah. Should we expect something like that from the respondents? Because we are expecting that they would be reading our questions carefully.
Are you sure? Okay. If I give 5, all 5, do you know that? I totally agree with you. Okay, there's a chances I give all 5 without reading your questions.
Yes.
Okay, there's a possibility of reading that. Or, if you have neutral, answer all 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 and 2 disagree. 4 and 5 agree. So 3 is I answer all 3. Is it good for you or not?
No.
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 That's why some questions you might put positive and negative to catch a person. Okay, whether they actually read the questions or not before answering. We want a truthful answer. If he read the questions, that's why, okay, just give 1 or 2, because he disagree, he disagree with the statement. This is 1. Therefore, from the pattern itself, you know whether that person has been truthful or not truthful to you. That's why we have positive and negative questions. But it doesn't mean that it's wrong to put all positive or all negative. It's not. No, it's up to you. What is your intention? Okay?
Okay.
So if you look at the second part of the question, that is computer self-efficacy, isn't it? Okay, the second part of the question is more on the self-efficacy. So the self-efficacy is all positive, all these the negative question, all positive question, right? This one. Okay. Correction to simulate your self-efficacy of computer. For each statement, please circle the appropriate numbers on the right. Okay. I feel confident working on computer. So, personal computer, your high self-efficacy is 4. Getting software up and running, 4. Using user's guide, 4. Entering saving data is 4. Exiting from the application software is 4. So this is all positive statement. How you measure? When you put a high scale for that particular response, therefore you consider as they have high confidence or high self-efficacy. There is no negative questions regarding this. Okay, understood? So you get all those instruments. Okay, you get all the answers. Okay, that's why when you collect, you have the code number, you have the page number, and you have your response. Okay, so from this, what you need to do is to enter it into your computer. Okay, so I want you open out your SPSS. So did you download SPS 23 or 26?
23, Doktor.
23. 26 pun ada. Okay, the same thing lah. How to put the license service number file into the destination file. Okay, if you want to, we can use 23. You still can use 23. Okay. In my PC, I have 26 and 23. Okay. Okay, now from here, you open up, can somebody share the screen with me? Okay. I'm going to guide you. Hidayah, you nak share screen ke Hidayah?
Saya punya ada problem download lagi, so tak dapat share lagi, Doktor.
Siapa tu? Okay, yang ni. Boleh besarkan tak? Okay. Okay, from here, okay, kita create new data set. Okay, then enter. Okay, you enlarge sikit screen tu.
Betul, nak tanya license ni untuk forever ke just for temporary juga?
License mana?
License untuk SPSS ni.
Yang tu.
Yang
Itu
disuruh kita
permanent tu.
replace tu.
Itu permanent tu.
I see. Okay.
Kata after 1 year kalau dia dah expire, you copy balik, you paste balik semula lah.
Faham.
Okay. Okay, if you look at the bottom of the screen, this is apa? 23 ke 26 ni? 23 eh? This is 26. Right? Siapa sharing the screen ni?
Yes, Doctor, is 26 yang Doctor upload tu.
This is 26. The difference dekat file tu, click on file. Okay, you have import data. Okay, so dekat sini banyak. If you use 23, you do not have SAS, you don't have Stata, you do not DBase, you do not have SYK, you do not have COG in NOS, okay? You don't have that. That is where the difference between 23 and the 26. And then lagi kat mana? This cache data also is not available in version 23. Okay, collect variable information is also not available in version 23. Okay, so there are something not much different, but the basic features is the same between 23 and 26 that we're going to use. Okay, so if you were to look at the bottom of the Windows screen for that particular window, okay, you have data view and variable view at the bottom. There are two tabs at the bottom. Okay, data view, you have the rows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. That is the rows. That will refer to your response. The VAR is the variable. Okay, all the questions. And then before you can enter your data, you have to create the variable name, the name of your questions. So you move to click on the variable view. Okay, so the column is name, type, width, and so on. So you have row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the row number in variable view represent the questions in your questionnaire. Got it? Okay. The row number in the variable view represent the questions. So if you were to look at the instrument just now, the first question is, I feel insecure about my ability to interpret a computer printout. This is the question. This is the first question. So in your variable view, for the first row, you have to type the name of that question. Can you type a name? You can only, if you cannot use more than 2 words, more than 1 word. Okay, if you want to use 2 words, you have to put an underscore. Give a name to that question. Give a name. Okay, insecure. Okay, then move to the next column. Okay, what type of data is it? Is it numeric? You click on that. Okay, the 3 button. Okay, Okay, is it numeric? Is it comma? Is it dot? Is it scientific notation? Date, dollar? What type of data that you're going to enter it on? If it is numbers, therefore it should be numeric. Okay. Then width is for the next column. What is the size of the column for you to fit in the data? If 8, that means they can enter 8-digit numbers. Up to 8 digit. 9 digit, therefore you get a hash. It will not be displayed. Okay. And then what is the decimal place? You want to have a decimal place or you do not want to have a decimal place? So in your questionnaire just now, okay, What is the column width that you should have? Minimum?
4.
You can fit your answer? 4. Okay. And then, is there any decimal place?
0.
No, 0. Then click OK. So that represents the second, the third and the fourth column. Okay. There is the width size, and then there is decimal 0. Label. Label is the questions. I feel insecure. So what you can do is go to your PDF, you copy, and then you paste it here. Or you type. You work smart, you copy, okay, and then you paste. Okay, so label is for the questions. Okay, in text format. Okay, and then the values. The values is for the response. What is the response? You have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Strongly disagree up to strongly agree. So you have to enter the value. 1. What is 1? Label 1. What is 1? Strongly disagree. Then add. What is the second option? 2. What is 2? Moderately disagree. Then third. And lastly, 4. Okay. So the values is the options of the response. Then click OK. Once you have completed, then click OK. So that is the response. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So that is a choice. If the person to answer the question, you can choose 1, 2, 3, and 4. Missing value. The next column is missing, none. So if it is none, okay, you put none, just cancel. Okay, therefore, you're going to have a dot. For any missing values, for any particular cells that you do not have any value, they put a dot. Automatically put a dot or put stop. Okay, there is understood there is a missing value. That's why I put as a none. By default, it's none. Rather than, if not, you put 99, therefore, you have to type 99, 2 digits. So waste your time. So just leave it blank. So any missing value, you have a period or a dot in that particular cell. Column, in this case, will represent you in terms of the column for your label. Okay, so just accept by the default 8. Align, right, left, or center. Okay, how you want to position your data later on. If you want to put a center, then put center. You want to put it on the left, then put align to the left. Okay, click on that. Okay, so left, right, center. So you have the 3 options. So you can choose. Okay, measure. Okay, measurements, there are 3 types of measurements. Scale is for continuous, ordinal, or nominal. So you can use scale, tapper, and on because you have to calculate a total. And input, just leave it as it is. Okay, row as an input. What is on your next one? Done. So that is for your first question. Okay. Can you enter create? Okay. 5 questions. Continue with enter 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. You cannot put more than 1 word unless you put underscore. It must be an abbreviation. It's very, very simple. Okay, the name must be very simple. Not too long.
What can I ask?
Doctor.
Yeah.
Why I'm using SPSS 23. Whenever I put the name, dia keluar maximum number of variable exceeded. Maksudnya apa?
So put, okay, share your screen. Yang ni, you continue. Okay, share your screen.
Nampak tak ada tu?
Okay.
Okay, ni kan, I put insecure kan?
Okay.
Lepas tu, tak boleh.
Okay, memanglah tak boleh. You need to paste yang license tu.
Oh, tak paste yang license.
Cakap tak nak dengar kan? Exit, keluar.
Keluar.
Okay, you show you punya tu dekat your folder tu.
Sekejap
Yang tu.
Yang mana?
Folder SPSS tu yang you download tu 23 tu. You share your screen. Okay. Bukan. Turun bawah lagi. No, turun bawah lagi. Mana folder tu?
Ni lah SPSS 23.
Dalam folder tu ada, mesti adanya.
Yang ni ke?
Dia ada satu folder, license tulis.
Yang ni? Saya...
Bukan. Yes. Copy.
Copy.
Dah copy dah?
Dah.
Okay. Pergi dekat you punya... pergi dekat you punya... Drive C. Program file. Pergi kat program file. No, jangan open. Close.
Lagi. Okay.
Pergi kat you punya program file.
Ya. Close dulu.
Program file x86.
Ini.
Double click, pergi ke IBM.
Okay.
Double click, SPSS.
Okay.
Statistik 23.
Okay.
Paste, Control V.
Control V. Continue. Okay.
Then close.
And close this.
Then start your SPSS. Okay, new setter set. Okay. Type. Sulit type insecure. Okay.
Alright. Boleh dah, Doktor.
Kalau 26 pun sama ya. That LSS license service tu you copy and go to the ni.
Okay. Alright. Thank you, Doktor.
Okay.
Hello.
Syafiqah, yang kolom yang mana? Yang width tadi. Width represent data yang nak masuk. Enter number of digit. Kalau itu 8, dia kan enter is only up to 8 digit number. Macam Excel kan? Kalau Excel dia masukkan 8 digit ni lebih daripada 8 digit number, nanti dia akan ada hash symbol tu dalam kotak tu. I mean that represent the width column is small. Yang kalau dia ada kolom tu pula is on the text yang akan being display. Okay, tadi siapa yang tunjukkan screen tadi, yang Excel tadi, yang SPSS tadi dah siap belum? Would you like to share the screen? Sahiba, I can see the after copy and paste in C drive, I can see the SPSS software in my laptop. Can you share your screen? Okay. Have you installed? No. You close this one. Okay, go to under bottom at the window. There's a search bar. Type search. SPSS. Okay. Then open file location. Okay, open file location on your right. No. Open. Okay, file location. Okay. Copy. Copy at the last one, shortcut, and then paste it to your desktop. Okay, then double click. You have a lot of application on your taskbar is open. You need to close some of it because it you use all your RAM. Your Skype you should close, your Microsoft Edge you should close, your Microsoft Teams you should close, remove from your taskbar, your Telegram you should remove from your taskbar. If not, it takes they occupy your memory. Okay, just cancel off X cancel the top. Okay, then new data set and click OK. Okay, again go to your variable view. Go down to your variable view. You type the correct. Type the name. Okay, then move to the next column. Okay, correct. Column with 8 decimal 0. Decimal 0. Go to the decimal column. That's 8. Okay, 0. The which you can accept 8 or you want to change it to 4 is okay. Label there's a questions. You copy and paste from your PDF just now. You go to your PDF. Okay. Where's the file? Where's the question? Okay. Copy. Then paste. Okay. Values. This is the response options. 1. Click the three title dot. Okay. 1. Strongly disagree. And you add. So this is the option of response. Add. 2. Moderately disagree. Then add 3. You click on OK after you finish the option. Okay, the response option after you have completed, then only you click OK. Moderately agree. And 4. Strongly agree. So that is the option for the response. Add, then click OK. Okay, column, okay. And then, okay, column, okay, align. You want to put center, put it center. Left, you put it left. Okay. And then measurement, scale. Okay. Then done. Then go enter for the second, give a second name for the second question. Okay, second question, what should be the name of that question? Okay. So far so good. Have you completed all? Siapa yang have entered itu? Can you share the screen with us?
Doktor, name tu memang tak boleh letak dua sentence lah. Kena letak satu je.
Dia sentence tak boleh. Dia sentence panjang, dia word.
Sorry, 2 words je.
You put underscore.
Put underscore. Oh, understood.
So they cannot have any spacing in between the words. Okay, anybody like to share the screen?
Doctor, sorry, can I share because I use 2 different laptop.
Okay. Whoever who can. This is data entry, okay? Lambat ni.
Doktor nampak tak?
Nampak, okay, good. Okay. Hidayah, what do you do with number 2, 3, 4, and 5 for the values? Values tu. You key in one by one ke?
Tak, I copy je.
Copy. Correct. You know how to do that, others? Delete 2, 3, and 4, 5? Hidayah?
Yes.
Doktor, yang width tu untuk apa sebenarnya?
Which one?
Yang third column tu.
Third column is, okay, number of digit that you can enter.
Meaning?
The size of the width. How many digit you can put in the figure value dekat situ? How many digit?
Oh, understood.
Okay. The column, the size of the column, width, the column. Okay. How many digit numbers you can put?
Oh,
If you put 4,
understood.
you can only up to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 digit.
Oh,
Up to 4 digit. If you have 5 digit, you cannot see anymore. You put an X, hash. Okay, the size of that column. Nampak tak yang ni Daya buat? Copy and paste. Okay. That is how you copy if you have the same. Okay, done. Go to now. Let's say for this instrument you have, let's say you have 30 questions. Therefore, you must have 30 rows. Understood? So if you have 80 questions, you should have 80 rows. That is, you key in the questions of the instrument or the survey in the variable view. After that, you're going to enter the data. Go to the data view. Okay, click on the data. No, click on the data view tab at the bottom. At the bottom, here. Data view tab. Okay, data view tab is where you're going to enter the response. Okay, you take your questionnaire just now. Okay, you answer the first question. Let's say respond for the first question. What number did you circle? Type in the second number. Okay. Before you enter, nanti there, before you enter, you are holding the paper, right? That you want to enter. You have to put number 1 on the piece of paper, on that paper, on that question. Why you have to put number 1?
You want already key.
This is the first questionnaire that you key into your computer. Because if you need to fall back to your original data, to the original source, since this is row number 1, you look at question number 1 that you key in. Since this is the number 15, row number 15, therefore you go back and look for questionnaire number 15 that you have entered. You got it? So you record the number as you key in. So since this is the first questionnaire, on your paper questionnaire, you put number 1. It corresponds with row number 1. And then key in the response. Does it all clear or not? Understand or not? We do not want to have any missing questionnaire. Or if you have keyed in wrongly, you know where to find. That is the reason why you have to put a number on the questionnaire that you key in. Even though you have SA123, okay, you still put number 1 because it's the first questionnaire that you key in. So what is the first response there? Okay, then second question. Okay, second question, third question. Same thing, others have to do, you have to enter your own. Okay, others ikut yang ni lah, yang Hidayah punya. Okay, others ikut Hidayah punya result. For the first row, you gunakan Hidayah punya result. 2, 4, 3, 3. Okay, now second respondent, I want second respondent, siapa? Share the screen. Second respondent, please share. So Hidayah, remember you are the first one. Okay, Hamizal, you are the second respondent. Okay, what's your answer? Question number 1. Others pun ikut Hamizal answer. So this is the second respondent answer. Okay, then the third respondent, share. Who's the third respondent? So Hamizal is 2422. 4 soalan je. Okay. Third respondent? Aizan, okay. Aizan, what's your answer respond? Okay, everybody follow Aizan's answer. So Aizan will be number 3. Okay, then next. Next respondent.
Betul, 4 soalan saja ke?
Tak apalah 4 soalan. Yang lain sama je. Okay, others will be the same. That's how you create a variable. That is how you enter your data.
Doktor, memang kita kena enter one by one. Kalau kita ada 200 respondent pun kena enter one by one lah.
Lah tu, nak kata macam mana?
So it's much more better.
Dia kena be kun fayakun.
Tak, kalau in the case kalau kita guna Excel for example, we actually collected Google Sheet, Google Form, so dia datang dalam Google Sheet. Can we actually import it to this?
Yes.
I see.
Can.
So,
yes.
The respondent, like from the second question, it's coming in decimal, like 4.00, 3.00.
Okay. The reason is that you go to your variable view. Okay, go to the variable view and look at the decimal column. Change it to 0. Okay. So under variable view, change it to 0. Therefore, you don't have decimal point.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, the fifth respondent. And would you like to share the fifth respondent? I have 21 students in class. Okay. And then lastly, last one. Ambil the sixth respondent.
Leslie dah tadi, doktor.
Leslie dah doktor tadi.
Leslie number 4.
Okay, lain-lain? Anybody? Atika? Okay. So Hidayah, you delete number yang punya number 1 tu Hidayah. Okay, contoh. Now. So this is your anxiety, right? Okay. So based on the questions, okay, based on this 4 questions, how do you measure? The higher the anxiety, the higher the score, isn't it? Right.
Yes,
and then you have to say that negative statements represent, if they put the negative statements is aligned what you want to measure. Okay, so positive statements you have to reverse, right, just now? So which are the positive statements that you have to reverse? Which question that you have to reverse? It's based on the 4 questions.
Question number 4, doctor.
We have how many questions we have? 4 questions, kan?
Question number 2. I look forward.
I look forward, you have to reverse.
Yeah.
But which question else you have to reverse? How about question number 4?
Question number 2.
Number 4.
Number 4 is still negative.
2 and 4?
2 and 4. 2 and 4.
2 is positive, 4 is positive, right?
Yes, doctor.
So you have to reverse. So how to reverse? Can somebody share the screen? So in order to reverse the score, okay, in order to reverse the score, who's with me now? You go to data.
Data here.
Am I correct? No.
Then
Edit.
Edit.
Oh no, wait, hold on. Edit, not edit. Go to that. No. Go to transform. Go to transform. Since question number 2 and question number 4 that you have to reverse, you are not going to change question number 2 and question number 4. Leave it as it is. But you're going to create a new variable. So you're going to transform, recode into different variable. Because you're creating new variable. Okay. So what happened now? You have all those sentences or the label. I feel insecure is in terms of label. You have to, if you want to see the name of the variable, you have to change it. Now it is a question, so you cancel. Everybody got this, I think, right? You cancel first. Go to edit, options. Go down, last
okay.
Options. Okay. Click options. Okay. So instead of variable list, display labels, display names. Okay, display name. Then click apply. After apply, then click OK. So in future, they only display the names and not the labels. Then click, after apply, then click OK. Okay, transform, recode into different variables. Okay, which question that you want to recode? Question number 2. Okay, put in the box. And then question number 4. Okay, you select those questions that you need to reverse. Okay, and from then, the name is anticipate, isn't it? So reverse R.
Non-anticipate.
R underscore anticipate.
Underscore, is it?
Yeah, R dulu. Put R first.
R.
R underscore
Reverse.
anticipate.
And anticipate.
You got it? The label, just leave it there, then change. Oh, no. No. Cancel, do it again. Cancel first.
Cancel. Transform.
Okay. Transform, recode to the variable. Okay, anticipate and put in
assignment, right?
Assignment, okay. Okay, bring to the first one. Okay, R underscore anticipate. Then no. Then go to change. Correct. Change. And then go to the second one. Okay. R underscore assignment. Change. Okay. So you change the name. Okay, with the letter R. That R refers to reverse. And good. Yeah.
Name R and then underscore assignment to is, if let's say we write just now look forward, so we just put R underscore
look forward. Yes. That means you know that reverse is referring, you reverse which variable name. Okay. So then go old values, new values.
Old values, new values.
What is the old value? 1.
1.
If the old value is 1, what is the new value? If you want to reverse?
R1, is it?
1, 2, 3, 4.
4.
Oh,
I see.
Okay, then add. Old value is 2. New value is
3.
Add. Old value is 3. New value is
2. Oh,
Old value is 4.
We do not need to use negative like this case.
Okay. You have to follow what the numbers that you have put in.
Understood.
Then continue. And then.
Do I need to change both or I need to do it once only?
No. Once. Then
Okay.
click OK. Is it okay?
Understood.
Can you see? Anticipate original is 4. After you reverse. Mana dia?
Not sure. This one, right? Execute ready. Then. Oh, maybe kat belakang. Okay, kat belakang. See.
Okay, yang VAR tu delete lah.
Okay, jap. This one, right?
Yeah, delete. Jangan delete semua tu lah. You delete semua pasal apa?
Sorry. Delete ni je.
No. Row 9 to 18. Yes.
Okay. Delete, is it? Clear.
Clear.
Alright. Wait. Why tak boleh? Tadi boleh tu. Oh. Clear. Okay.
So look at your data view. Okay. So bagi kat variable B, tukarlah yang kalau if your decimal place to change to 0. Go to your variable view.
Oh, this one is it?
Yes. No. Decimal place 0.
If I change this to 4 also can, right?
Can. No problem. Can you see that? Okay, anticipate the original value is 4. So 1. So assignment. Okay. Those answer 3 become 2. Those answer 4 become 1. So that is the score. Then now how to calculate the total? Okay. So in order to calculate the total, okay, go to transform, compute, variable. You need to calculate the total score, total anxiety, TOT anxiety. What is it? That target variable is your new variable. You're going to create a new variable.
TOT anxiety.
Underscore. Make sure you cannot use two words. Okay. So what is the question? The numeric will be question number 1. Push in.
Okay.
Plus sign, plus sign, plus sign.
Plus sign. Alright.
Plus on your keyboard. Plus sign.
Oh, I need to
Plus.
from here. Alright.
Reverse anticipate. Plus ability plus reverse assignment. Okay. Then, okay, now paste. I want you to paste.
Paste what?
Paste at the bottom of the screen. I want you to create syntax.
Paste, okay.
I want you to create syntax.
Execute.
Okay. Now, at the bottom you have two windows. This is your data editor, and then you have syntax editor. Can you see your syntax editor at the bottom of your screen?
Alright.
Jumpa tak syntax editor at the bottom of your screen?
Alright. Do I need to reshare the screen?
Yeah, you share the screen.
Syntax.
Jumpa tak syntax?
Okay, cuba.
Share the syntax. This is your syntax. Okay, you highlight.
Highlight everything, is it?
Then run. Run the green button, the triangle green button.
This one.
Yes. Okay, now you go to your data. You go to your data editor.
This one, is it?
Yep. Can you see the total?
Oh, this one. So it's the same thing lah. Variable need to change to 0, is it? Decimal point.
Okay. So it'll be insecure 2 plus reverse anticipate is 1. 2 plus 1 is 3 plus ability 3. 3 is 6 plus reverse. Okay, reverse assignment 2. So total 8. So that's how you calculate the total. Okay? Okay, good. What I want to do now is
Doctor.
Yeah.
Can you repeat with another person?
Lost.
Lost. Maybe I can share my screen.
Okay.
Sekejap
Doktor, I lost dekat RR tadi tu.
Okay.
Okay, this
Saya
one.
pun lost dekat RR.
Okay, delete RR or delete all your R.
Delete this
Highlight.
one.
Highlight that one. Highlight both. Then clear.
Okay.
Okay. So you're going to reverse. You need to know that which question you want to reverse. Okay, that means you're going to reverse question number 2. Look forward and challenge. Okay. So in order to reverse, okay, you have to recode. You're going to create a new variable. So transform, recode. Okay, transform, that means you're going to change. What you want to do? You want to compute. You want to calculate. So transform, compute variable. You want to recode, transform, recode variable. Or you want to replace, transform, replace missing value. You have that. Got it?
Okay.
So since you want to create new variable, okay, from the existing variable, so transform, recode into different variable. You're not going to recode in the same variable. If you recode in the same variable, they overwrite your original data. So you're going to create a new one.
Okay.
Okay. Reset. Let's reset. I want to clear everything. Reset. The reset button at the bottom.
Okay, alright.
Okay. Choose the questions that you're going to reverse.
Okay, this one.
Doktor.
Yeah.
Why my record kan, dia keluar question, dia tak keluar. Macam ni dia kan keluar insecure.
Okay.
I punya dia keluar question dia.
Can you share your screen first?
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I stop share.
You start share.
Okay.
Sekejap macam ni. Dia keluar question dia.
Okay. Cancel.
Cancel.
Pergi ke edit. Options.
Sabar sekejap Okay.
Options bawah sekali, last.
Options, okay.
Okay. So display instead of label, tukar pada name.
Display name, okay.
Apply dulu. Apply.
Okay,
Tak
okay.
jumpa soalan lah. Then klik okay.
Okay.
Then klik okay.
Then klik okay.
You're done.
Okay, then pergi transform.
Recruit into different variable.
Okay.
Okay, ambil job.
Job.
Push inside.
Okay.
And then ambil second one, challenge.
Challenge.
Push inside. Okay.
Okay.
Highlight the first one.
Yes.
Okay. R.
Underscore.
Job.
Job.
Okay. Then go to change.
Change.
Then go to the challenge.
Challenge.
R. Underscore. Challenge. Challenge.
Challenge.
Okay. That means you reverse lah ya.
Okay.
The same title tapi you reverse. Then
okay.
Old values. Okay. What is the old value? 1. New value? 4. Add. Then
2. 3. 3. 2. 4. 1.
Add. Continue. Then paste. Paste. Bila paste, dia akan keluar kat syntax.
Oh, ini yang tak keluar tadi.
Okay, show your syntax.
Ni?
Share screen, syntax.
Oh, tak nampak kejap
Share the screen syntax.
Yang ni?
Okay, yes. Highlight syntax tu.
Highlight execute.
Tak. The whole text. Sampai full stop tu kena highlight. Okay.
Okay.
Then run. Run tu yang warna hijau tu. Triangle tu.
Hijau triangle ni?
Yes. Run selection, yes. Then go to your data.
Go to data. Data view
Data view. Share screen data tadi.
Kejap. Kenapa dia tak boleh share semua sekali?
Dia different window.
Wan ni kena share the whole screen. The whole screen.
Yang ni ke? Okay, nampak semua kan? Yang ni.
Nampak tu. Kalau you tengok job tu, the answer is 4, right? Full value. The new value is 1.
Okay.
Okay. Kalau full value challenge is 3, the new value is 2. So automatically dia akan reverse lah. Okay, now kita nak klik total. Okay. Transform. Record into different variable. Compute variable.
Okay.
What is the new variable? Total. Anxiety. Anxiety. Any name lah, as long as you Okay.
Anxiety, okay.
What is the total? What is the score? Push variable. Insecure. Push in plus. R job. You tak boleh ambil job ya. The second variable.
Okay. Sebab
you dah record. Lepas tu plus.
Okay, plus.
Ambil learn. Plus. Yang you record. R challenge. Then paste. Dia sudah akan pergi kat syntax. So dekat data ni tak keluar lagi. Pergi kat syntax.
Dulu.
Okay, then run syntax. Then
daripada compute je kan?
Ya.
Okay. Lepas tu run syntax. Lepas tu pergi kat data balik.
Pergi kat data balik. Nampak tu?
Okay. Alright.
Okay. Now, I want you to delete R job sampai total anxiety. Kat data view tu, delete semua tu. Tiga-tiga tu delete. Okay, clear.
Clear.
Okay. This is your original data, right?
Okay.
So, kita tadi buat step by step kan? Transform, record into different variable, bla 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 kan? Since sekarang, you dah ada syntax file, you go to your syntax. Highlight semua. And then run. Okay, then go to your data. Nampak?
Oh, as long as ada syntax, dia takkan data tu tak hilang lah.
Yeah, you have your original data. Okay, kalau you dah ada syntax, based on your original data, you can produce your result the same thing. That's why syntax very important. Okay, faham tak faham kenapa ada syntax? So you have to save your syntax. From time to time you have to save your syntax. At least you tak perlu buat sekali lagi. So same thing juga. in your dissertation nanti. Kalau you dah masukkan you punya result kan, you dah before you have already a questionnaire, right? You tak sibuk sangat. You boleh key in all you punya variables. Okay, you key in your variables and then you buatlah, masukkan 3 dummy data. So based on 3 dummy data, you dah boleh buat you punya, you can run your analysis. Tapi dari analysis tu you simpan dekat you punya syntax. Sekarang ni you baru dapat 10 responden. Tak apalah, based on responden, you buat your syntax dulu. Because the test is sama. You ada 10 responden ke, 200 responden ke, 50 responden, syntax tu tetap sama. Faham?
Faham.
So, bila you dah enter your data, you dah buat your syntax, besok nak get your result, you just print your syntax. You dapatlah semua result. Faham tak?
Faham.
Maksud dia. Okay, any question so far? So pun you dah penat dah kan?
Doktor, saya lost dekat apa computation tu.
Computation apa?
Execute compute variable tu.
Compute variable tu kan? Okay. You
Okay,
kena tahu.
Saya share jap.
Okay, nak campur apa?
Okay, this one. Okay. This one, okay, look forward.
Tak. Your new variable, what's your new variable? This is your target variable. Type in your new variable dulu.
New variable.
Atas tu, target variable.
Target variable, okay.
That is your new variable. That is your total. You have to type the name of your new variable. Because dulu ni tak ada.
Okay, total.
Thought underscore anxiety. No, you can have 2 words, you only have 1 word. Underscore anxiety.
Okay, alright.
Okay. So, soalan mana? Insecure.
Okay.
Okay, plus. Question?
R.
You kena ambil yang dah reverse. Okay, R. Okay, plus.
Okay. Plus.
Learn.
Okay.
Plus.
Plus.
Reverse
Okay.
jalan. Okay.
Alright, okay.
Then paste. So, dia akan bagi kat syntax. And then run your syntax.
Okay.
Okay, syntax dia ada 1 ada 2. Ada record tak ada? Tak ada kan?
Ada 1. Sekejap.
Record ada tak? Kalau record ada lah.
Oh, tak ada. Dia ada execute je.
Sebab tadi kita tak paste record tadi.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, kalau you run yang syntax tu, dia dapatlah total.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. This will be your assignment. Okay. Dalam dataset you, kan? Dalam dataset lah. Dalam dataset, ada tak file nama KCSE? Can you open up the file? Can you share the screen with me? Okay, in your folder, you have KCSE. It is in your data, quantity data. Quantity data, yes. Okay, KCSE, ada tak?
Ada.
Okay, open that file. KCSE SAV. KCSE SAV. You click on type. Yes, ada file. Yang tu tak ya? Yang SAV je. Okay, look at the data. Okay, this is the data. Okay, so this one ada berapa respondent? You could scroll down. So you ada about 50 respondent. You go to variable view. Do you have any questions?
38.
Ada 38. Okay, ada 37 questions. Okay, so this is The data lah. The question. Until 37 is a question. So pergi kat data view. Okay. Why is it, if you look at it, why is it CARS? Why is it CARS1, CARS2, CARS3? And then why is it CSE? CSE1, CSE2, CSE3. Why is it? You know why? You have any reason? Leslie? You have any idea, Leslie?
No, Prof.
No. More Fasha? You have any idea?
Because of the part 1 and part 2, is it?
Yeah.
Computer anxiety
What is
rating.
CARS? What is CARS?
Computer anxiety rating scale.
Computer anxiety rating scale 1. Computer anxiety rating scale 2. Question number 1, question number 2. This is all related to computer anxiety. That's why I put CARS. Why I have CSE?
Computer
self-efficacy scale. Computer self-efficacy 1, question 2, question 3. And then as you go through, sampai lastly ada gender kan? Okay, gender, age, rank. Nampak tak? Panjang tak nama dia?
Pendek. Pendek je.
Does it have any meaning? Yes.
Yes.
Because this is computer anxiety. I have 18 questions on anxiety. Kalau CSE, I have 10 questions. So I know everything I have put in. There's nothing missing. Kalau put insecure, look forward, do you know what is it all about? Which section? Tak tahu kan? Faham? So you have to plan yourself. How to put? Can you put question 1? You can put Q1, Q2, Q3. No problem. Faham? Question rating scale you have about 18 question, right? Put Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 sampai 18. And then kita when come to computer self-efficacy, it will be question 19. 19, 20 sampai 29. Faham? Tapi therefore you cannot split. Question 1 sampai 2. So is question 20, is it anxiety or is it efficacy? If you put this way, okay, you divide. Okay, this is section 1, this is section 2, this is section 3. You have 4 sections. So based on that section, what is it all about? The skill that you want to measure. That's why use that way. Understood? So if you were to look at the questions just now, there are how many? 18 questions, right? How many questions that you have to reverse? How many questions you have to reverse? Computer self-efficacy, everything is positive. There's no problem. Questions on anxiety, how many questions are positive? How many questions are negative? Any idea? Atika?
No idea.
Wan Fasha?
Doktor, 11 positif, 7 negatif, is it?
11?
11 positif, 7 negatif.
I'm looking at 8 for positive. And the rest is negative.
How many negative?
10 negative.
10 negative.
8 positive.
10 positive.
10 negative, 8 positive.
8 positive. Wan Fasha? Wan Fasha ada?
Yes.
How many?
I'm not sure, doctor.
Baca lah. Baca tak baca ni?
8 positif, doktor. 8 positif. 8
positive. Which one are positive?
Question 2.
Question 2.
Question 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 11, 16 and 18.
Dapat? Got it or not? Which questions are positive?
2,
2,
4,
4,
5,
5,
6,
6,
7,
7,
9,
9.
11.
No.
Oh, not.
Why is it 11? What is 11?
Sekejap.
Tell me.
11 no, 11 negative.
What is 11? What is 11?
I feel apprehensive about using computer.
Okay, tell me. Sincerely and truthfully, how many of you know the meaning of the word apprehensive?
I do.
No idea, Doctor.
No idea, doctor.
No idea.
Okay, you do not know, isn't it? The meaning. Because English is not your native language. Got it? So therefore, this question is considered as bad. Why the word question is bad? Because some of the respondents did not understand the meaning. What does it mean of apprehensive? Therefore, the question is bad. Use the word that can be easily understood by the respondent. So in this case,
like worried, okay.
Yes, don't use words that your respondent do not understand. Use simple word, because this will give what you call as response bias. The respondent will give the wrong answer because he does not know the meaning of that particular word that you use. Understood? So if you do not know the meaning, some of you say this is negative, some say this is positive. In actual fact, this is a negative question. You don't have to reverse. But if you do not know, then you give a different answer. That's what I call response bias. So the word is not appropriate. You have to find a word that can be easily understood by your potential respondent. That is how you design questionnaire. Okay? So you only have 8 questions that are positive. Okay? Not 11, 9, then 16 and 18.
16
so your,
and 18.
Okay, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 16 and 18. Okay, so 8. So I want you to, later on, I want you to reverse those questions and calculate the total score. And we're going to use this data next week. Any question?
So we reverse the positive word.
No, you reverse the score.
Oh, reverse.
Like the one we did just now?
The reverse yang positive statement ya, Doctor?
Reverse.
Yes.
Reverse the score for the positive statement.
Yeah. Sebab apa? How you measure? Negative statements have high anxiety, right? High score and high anxiety. That represented by negative statement. Positive statement, if they are anxiety, the scores are low. So it doesn't represent that what I want to measure. So you have to reverse those positive statements score.
Doctor,
like yeah.
Which means that we have another 8 column lah.
Yes. You're going to add up another 8 column. Is that clear?
Clear, Doctor.
Okay, so you do it as part of your exercises, and then so next week. Okay, next week we're going to do what we call as factor analysis.
Doctor, next week we got class or not?
Okay, no, next week tak ada kelas here.
Hi. Next
week tak ada kelas. And then when is our class here?
Next 2 weeks.
Friday, right, Doctor?
Friday, Doctor.
Friday rasanya. On the 5th kot.
5th of March.
5th of May.
May.
Remember.
I mean a week before Raya.
A week before Raya. That will be berapa?
7 May.
May, Doctor.
7, right?
Yeah, 7.
On the 7th of May. Okay. Okay, 7th of May tu, please read factor analysis and reliability. Kita habis kelas bila ya? Your cuti raya bila starting?
16 May.
10.
From 10 to 16 May.
Okay. So exam tahu tak bila?
Tak tahu.
Tak tahu lagi.
Tak tahu.
Okay. Tak apa, we are on time. So next week kita akan, next week, the next class kita akan buat on reliability. On factor analysis. Read on factor analysis. After factor analysis, then we're going to do reliability. Okay, factor analysis is on chapter 16 of ND field. Tapi tengoklah which edition that you use. Okay, so read on factor analysis. Any questions?
Doctor, if we are having some issues on our end Vivo, so which platform that doctor prefer us to contact doctor?
You call me ataupun you message me lah.
WhatsApp ya? Okay.
Kan sampai kena cakap kalau I tak tahu kan.
Boleh. Okay.
Okay, so we're going to meet again insyaAllah on the 7th, yeah? On the 7th at what time? 8:30.
Okay.
Okay. So if anything nanti I inform lah. If I cannot make it whatever it is, I have to inform you.
Doctor, Doctor, if let's say we can't submit our assignment on 30th April.
Hey, you do not know you can. Don't think negative.
Is there any penalty?
No. Nanti you akan delay because we're going to have a lot of things to do.
Okay, Doctor.
Okay, Doctor.
Wan Fasha, you dah hantar lah assignment you?
Dah yang questionnaire on the way, Doctor.
Tak ada, on the way. Tadi udah last week tadi udah.
Iya, I tengah transcribe kepada Word.
Do it fast.
Alright.
Okay, that's all for today. Guys, thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Welcome.